Welcome to Hive Scum, the grim and gritty podcast for the 28 community. We're back.
Woo!
What's up, scumbags?
I'm
Scumbags.
Terry. We should introduce ourselves again,
Scumbags.
just in case any new people are listening out there. I'm Terry.
I'm Phil.
I'm Steve. I'm Gage.
Yeah, so here we are. We're back. We just had a beautiful breakfast down the street. Gage got the eggplant sandwich.
Perfect.
In old historical Collinsville.
Oh.
The haunted Collinsville.
Ye old
Is it
Collinsville.
haunted? Is there anything haunted in
Dude, yeah, we were. You weren't in the.
was
We
just
went to
about
the
to ask you.
antique store and the axe factory there. So it's like an old axe factory from the late 1800s, maybe even like. Gage looks like he's getting his phone
So
out.
it's
No.
on this.
Yeah, let me fact check you real quick.
But it's like the old Collins axe factory.
Okay.
So it used to just be like
okay,
a
so
mill.
it was the
It's
the
like-
town name.
yeah.
Okay, got you.
And so it was
Okay,
just a mill. So it's like it was open for, I don't know, probably 100-something years. All the buildings are still there. So they're haunted as hell. Everybody's getting sucked into like the weird wheels and shit. I don't know how mills work.
Like that,
You
that
getting
device
sucked into
that
the
we
wheel.
saw. The-
It's like
the
a
head.
real slow
big
motion,
thing.
like getting sucked into a lathe.
Ah! Yeah, just
Nightmare
getting
film.
slowly.
I've seen that happen
Oh,
In
Jesus
person?
Christ,
in
dude.
high school.
All right.
I
Well,
saw
it wasn't.
happen.
What is it? Just
Great
like their
start to
hand?
the
It
pod.
their
It
whole
was-
body didn't get sucked in.
No, he had a short sleeve shirt on, and the sleeve got caught, and he went under the chuck. And luckily, the way those machines were set in high school, the old Bridgeport lathes, when you kind of turned, you would hit the E-stop, and he was able to pull back out. But
Holy
his whole
crap.
fucking body,
No,
his
dude.
whole arm was purple.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Oh, he made it out though.
He's
His
fine.
arm is
Yeah, he's
okay.
fine.
Oh, thank God.
Definitely not a lathe. And also, this could be a totally manufactured memory that I'm making up, but I feel like the shop teacher in either middle school or high school totally just like got his finger cut off just like in class.
I feel like that's a
while
that's like a shop
teaching.
teacher thing. Like
It's like a badge
if you
of
didn't
honor.
lose a finger, you weren't
Injured in the line of duty.
like, oh, you've got 3 years experience in the field. Sure, how many fingers you got?
Oh.
Now
Did
you're
all
hired.
of you go to shop?
Yeah. Well, I didn't go to tech school, but
Well,
I
went to a
took
tech
shop
school.
classes.
I did too.
Oh, dude,
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't think
I
I
did
did shop.
welding.
I might have
shit.
did shop
So did
class.
Kook.
You probably did. You did art classes though, probably.
Oh yeah, I did all
Yeah,
AP portfolio.
Which those overlap a lot. Oh yeah, you were saying. that.
I definitely took the home ec. Learn how to sew and like cook a
I did
Dude,
that.
cook an
best
apple pie.
fucking class. And they're like going away from that. I talked to Sarah too.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're just like going away from all the cool home ec shit, like learning how to sew, learning how to cook. Dude, nobody knows how to freaking cook anymore.
Nope.
Yeah,
I
me
wish-
neither.
The only thing I got from home ec was a duffel bag I made
And it's sick.
where I sewed the words mushroom head into the bag.
that's
'cause
so
that
cool.
is-
I
Hell
loved
yeah.
mushroom head so much back
Dude,
then.
just
That's awesome.
sewing infected mushroom into your bag.
Very different vibe, but also very sick.
Oh man! So what have you guys been up to? Well, we got to talk what we've been up to hobby wise. I think we should start with Steve this time. We should go like we should start with a
round
different
table.
person every time. Yeah, and that way because Phil's got some.
Yeah,
cool
very
shit. I
convenient
want
that
him
we
to
sit
be
in the
last.
same seats every week.
Yeah, well, we're assigned.
Assigned seating,
I
yeah.
assigned them.
Like I said, we got to roll for initiative for
I have the talking
storytelling.
stick.
Yeah.
Oh, we should just straight roll for initiative to see who goes first every
Oh, that'd
time.
be funny.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Dice ASMR.
Dice ASMR. I probably have a dice just like kicking around within arm's reach, but maybe not.
Maybe not.
Anyway, Steve, what you been up to, hobby wise?
Hobby-wise, I haven't been doing too much hobbying, but I did pick up the BattleTech minis.
Oh shit! I almost asked you to bring them because you sent that picture, but I figured you had already left by the time I saw them.
I had them sitting on my desk. I am very excited about them because
You bought not the beginner box, the other one, the
I
big box?
did buy the beginner box, and I bought it for $5 off for
At
whatever
Barnes
reason.
and Noble?
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes
They
and
got
Noble is the
deals.
hookup for any Catalyst game, to be honest.
It's
Really?
pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's funny too because
Is Zombie Side a Catalyst game?
No.
I want all those zombies.
dude, you can buy those on Amazon for like $5.
Homie Jeff, Jersey Jeff,
Jersey Jeffy.
he has every single copy of Zombicide that has ever come out.
That
Really?
game looks very fun.
All like 40 games.
Is it good? What game? Like what?
It's
kind
very
of-
sick.
What is
Zombies.
Zombicide?
It's a
from
board game.
zombies.
Okay.
But their thing is you're fighting in a high school and it's a different board game. Or the next one's like, oh, it's the Black Plague. It's the next one's in space and
Oh, that's kind of
Zombies through history.
yeah, pretty much.
Time and space.
Time and space.
cool. Roman
Zombies
zombies.
are eternal, man.
Hail Roman Caesar.
Hail Roman
Zombies.
Caesar.
I mean zombie Caesar. Yeah, just hail Caesar. That's
Hail
why
Caesar.
I want to stop the pod just to say that. Shout out, friend of the pod. I have to stop saying friend of the pod.
He wrote me a letter. He told me he loved the
No!
Caesar hand wrote a letter.
Oh my god. So the BattleTech minis,
BattleTech minis.
you just put them together, right?
No, they come pre-assembled.
They come, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Where'd you
like
get 'em
a
from?
cool mini or not? Kind
Barnes
of
and Noble.
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're the retailer for a lot of BattleTech stuff.
Wow,
I bought the
I had
beginner
no
box.
idea.
And they have other shit too. Like occasionally, like Blood Bowl shit ends up there.
They have
Yep.
Blood. They don't
Yep.
call it Blood Bowl though.
No, they
Barnes
have
and Noble Bowl.
they have the Blood Bowl minis, but they also have their big
Slap a
box, the
sticker over
GW big box variants.
Yes.
Where it's like not kill team, it's like fire team.
Yes.
And it's like 4 models instead of 5.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the Blood Bowl one, I forgot what it's called.
This
It's like
is so
Halftime Bowl or
bootleg.
Yeah, it's some.
but it's
play
by
on the words.
GW.
Really?
Yeah, and GW does it. And to be honest, half the dudes that are on like the Kill Team Reddit are like, I got into it because my wife picked up Fire Team at Barnes and Noble.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't think any of the
How much
sculpts-
do they cost? Are they like cheaper?
They're like
I mean,
$20
it
a
gotta be
box.
Cheaper. Well, that's not bad, dude. I
But
might pick that up.
some of them are fucked up because like it'll be this is Fire Team and this guy gets a kill team of Space Marines, and the other person gets bless you, Steve.
Sorry, I'm sneezy away from the cats.
God bless.
The other one will be like you get 5 cardboard cutout of Necrons.
Oh, I kind of like that. Dude. I feel like I would like the cardboard cutouts even better. Those are really cool.
Yeah.
It's called Blitzball.
There you go.
$45. You can get the
$45
box.
I don't.
So-
So is it a
It
third
comes with
party?
minis.
No, it's GW
Why is it called Blitzball?
because it's meant to
Blood
be
Bowl.
adjacent to Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
is it a different game?
It's its
No,
own
it's the same
intro.
game.
No, the mechanics are similar.
Oh
It's
my god,
easier
you
to
cannot
play.
Yeah.
change the mechanics though, because
Well,
then like
it's-
how are people going to translate that to the actual game?
They make it easier to play. Like they give you printout cards and they
Oh,
make it
that's
so
cool,
it's.
though.
I
like
think the Fire
printout
Team one,
cards.
if I remember, I was thinking about buying it, but I think it's like you can roll to hit, and there's no wound. Like you just do the wound, so that just cuts out half the game right there.
Oh, so it's just like a fast pace.
it's just a really like this is how you play. Go.
That's cool.
So it's
Hey, I
working.
mean honestly, that sounds.
That's how you get a kid into it.
Yeah, that sounds maybe even better.
But anyway,
BattleTech.
Oh yes, let's go back.
Bought the beginner box, and then I asked Evan, like, hey, which of these should I buy? And he didn't answer for like 3 hours, so I just bought the beginner box. And he's like, yeah, don't buy that.
God damn it, Evan!
your
Take a
problem,
break
Evan?
from the internet.
Fuck.
everyone go
that's
flame.
really
It's
cool.
whatever.
How dare you
No.
prevent
Send him hearts.
erosion?
He deserves all the hearts.
But-
yeah, he's saving the world one
How's the,
wetlands at a time.
How's your hobby room coming along?
Oh,
It's not. It's
It's
taking-
not.
I mean, it is. It's just the house. I'm hoping tonight I can get all the walls finished so I can actually like break down my hobby room. The closet in my hobby room though needs to be finished.
Yeah.
So when that's done, I can actually put
Oy
stuff in
vey.
the closet. It's a mess. But
The floors look great.
Shout out to
floors do look
homeowners.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But BattleTech,
look
sick.
good.
I had some old metal minis I found at Battle Standards Bits Box at one point, and
For BattleTech?
I don't know if it's BattleTech, but it looks like a
Yeah,
Mech
yeah,
Warrior.
yeah,
So
Yeah, I wonder
Same
if they're.
cannon.
Oh, it is.
Same
yes,
cannon.
I only knew that.
Oh,
I found that out
that's sick.
recently.
Yeah, Evan blew my mind when he told me that.
dude, I want to make terrain so bad for. I know it's irrelevant to the game, but I want to make like
Yeah.
3-dimensional terrain so
Dude,
badly.
Well, I think you can get away with
Making things
it.
fun.
Yeah, you
Why
just
not?
need to make like the buildings, a smashed building, rubble. Like you would have to make them in the various stages.
Oh,
of whatever.
is the terrain destroyable or something?
that's
It's
cool.
destroyable. You can like chill in it. You can hide in it. Some of them
Oh.
becomes objectives.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
All
All
right.
right.
You can live in it. You can pretend like you live in this little building.
can play little house.
Look out! Yeah,
It's
look
The
out the
Sims.
window.
Yeah.
Make your models kiss.
Yeah. Honestly, we should just start playing The Sims.
Dude, I was talking to Danny today about playing The Sims.
We should get into The Sims.
Sims podcast.
Let's go.
Never mind. We're talking beep boop bop. What do
Beep.
they even say?
Hola, hoodie do.
Simish or something. Simlish.
I'm a
Sim-
simaholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when they get real.
I can't stop.
Real like fourth
dark
wall,
joke.
and they like look at the camera.
Yeah.
Help, Badu.
Yeah, my bathroom is flooding. I'm going to die.
You took the ladder out of the pool.
They're like,
Why,
"Please
God? Why do you hate me?
feed me. I haven't eaten for 3 days.
You took the door off my house. I can't leave.
And it's on fire.
Yeah,
Like 15 stoves in the room, no door.
Welcome to your hell.
it's just like a sandbox game for sex perverts and sadists. I've never played The Sims.
You've never played The Sims before.
No.
Never before. Like,
No.
You say it like you're too cool for The Sims.
yeah. What,
I am.
Like, come on, bro.
Listen, I've played a lot of SimCity, Zoo Tycoon.
Then you know the deal.
Sim Coaster.
SimCity is like a person in their daily life.
Yeah,
Like you
so
build
you get
their
a
house,
job.
they go get a job, they like work.
I don't give a fuck about person.
I already lived the real life.
Yeah.
Care about building infrastructure.
And then sending.
I used to play this city builder game called Pharaoh, and it was ancient Egypt, and it took just like 20 hours of gameplay to build like the smallest, shittiest pyramid.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, dude, you watch the little guys like build like the scaffolding around it,
just, like,
and just
clap
like
for them.
drop rocks. Yeah, drop rocks on themselves.
What else are you doing in that time in that game?
I don't know, dealing with little invaders
Oh.
and building other stuff. I don't know.
It's like
I
a
haven't,
click
I haven't played
game.
that in probably 25 years.
It's really funny.
We got to get that.
Yeah, we gotta get that back.
Anyways, where were we? Oh, Sims. Well, no,
Sims.
before that.
Yeah.
Hobby
On to
stuff.
you,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gage,
On to
your
me.
hobby
What
vibes.
have I been doing?
Wrestling with your minis.
I've been kit bashing a new right-hand man for my Path to Glory army because Phil killed him in the most cinematic.
Oh, so Darian's just dead.
Well, okay, so the let me back up for a second.
Yeah. Put in
Gareth and Darian Hagenbeck are my
Yeah.
Brothers.
my brothers. My one Gareth is the general. Gareth is the cocky older brother. The younger brother Darian is kind of like the tactician of my army.
Yeah.
And Gareth left him behind because my mission was to just get to the edge of the map. That's all I needed
Oh,
to do.
yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of burst
Yeah, to
through.
escape from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick. Now you're speaking about our Age of Sigmar.
Yes, our
Home
Age of Sigmar.
campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, our Path
Yeah.
to Glory campaign. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Just for the
And-
listeners.
Thank
yes.
you for clarifying.
Yeah. The
Not our actual friend Darian or something. Like dying.
Yeah, you like abandoned his brother.
it was really fucked up. But
Just left him on the side of the road.
and I'm making a model in his memory.
After Phil
By the way,
on him.
I will go on the record. If I die, guys, you can go ahead and make a little. mini
I
of me,
will.
all right?
Oh,
no,
definitely
we'll
will.
just
Throw-
take the
Throw me in whatever.
I'm gonna take your ashes and put them in a dreadnought.
Oh, dude, please.
I
We'll
did that
take
with
the
my grandma.
Goobertown STLs and then we'll be all set.
Excuse me?
All right. Anyway, so Gareth left Darian behind. Phil's warlord, Torbach.
Torbach.
Torbach saw a perfect opportunity, like he does every game.
Did to me too.
Yup, to fucking charge and just annihilate this poor guy. Phil had a full movement phase. All he did was move his models around in like a
all I
Mako
did
Ra.
was literally just make the models encircle him to watch my warlord go.
No
in
way.
We were,
single
we were
combat.
saying they're like stomping rhythmically, like beating on their chest
Yeah,
to watch
yeah.
him.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So they and
guys
then
had
Well,
such
the
a
rest of
flavor
his
for
army
it.
escapes, and he did get was it a major victory?
no, it was minor. The only reason that I didn't get major is because it had
Not
to be
enough?
exactly half.
Oh yeah.
And because I had a weird points value.
Wait, did you guys play the same mission I played with Sam?
I think
Maybe?
so. The escape
And
the border.
Right
Sam
next
got
to each
away
other?
with the one.
we were
with
playing the
minor.
same mission on
Yeah.
the
That was
tables
a really
next to each
cool,
other, and we didn't even know.
Oh yeah.
well, it's
Holy
one
crap,
that
you
it
guys
has
were playing
very
at the same
weird
time.
deployment where I had to have each the table was in a grid, and I needed to have a unit in like every single in like
Oh.
7 different.
You had to have a perfect
like,
arc around
squares.
it.
Yeah.
I think we played that, or somebody I played that with.
Yeah, so I was
We
I was
did
stretched
play
very
that.
thin.
Yeah.
Well, so the one we're playing technically was one of the lore missions from Undrasta versus
Just some beast men.
Yeah, the
Gorgon.
Gorgon Kai,
Gorgon Kai.
the lore of Thondia right now.
Yeah, it's essentially it's a narrative mission where you're just playing like a story that's already like pre-written. in
But
the-
because
in the
I just
lore.
got
Gotcha.
my reinforcements for my army and my roster finally grew, I was saying they were going to the Realm Gate to pick them up. And then as they were going back, they accidentally found a Herdstone.
Oh shit.
Which is why Phil's dudes were all just in a circle, like, all right, time to die.
As
Yeah.
beastmen will.
So anyway, Darian absolutely got destroyed by Phil's
his brother left him behind.
by Phil's Anvil of Apotheosis character.
Yeah. No, the great moment was at as the older brother is about to escape the board
Oh,
edge.
yeah.
He looks back, sees his brother getting encircled, and tries to just like half-heartedly cast like a mystic
Oh,
shield
my
on him,
God.
and then my shaman just immediately dispels it, just slaps it down.
And it went, well,
Just denies it.
so
Yeah.
so I used my redeploy. I spent a command point to actually move Darian closer to Phil's warlord to be like,
This is it.
Yeah,
He's
accept my
like,
fate.
"Yep, my brother left me. This is it. I'm dead."
Holy crap, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had the most flavorful game I feel like I've seen at this campaign.
It-
Oh yeah,
was-
that was
it was
probably
very sick.
probably my favorite game in the
yeah,
campaign so,
so
far.
good.
The but when I went to casualty rolls, he didn't die. So he rolled like injure. So I think
He's grievously wounded on the battlefield.
so. What
left
I'm
for dead.
what I'm gonna do is I'm kit bashing a new one because I still want. I'm using the Dorelia Van Danst
Yeah.
War Scroll. I still want that in my army, but I'm just gonna swap the models out and say it's a new.
Yeah, make a new character.
It's a new advisor. The Whitefire Court sent them in, and maybe 10 games down the line, Darian will come back and be like,
with a robotic leg.
"Yeah, in a time machine."
That's cool though.
So I've been doing that, and then randomly I'll do the totally not Matt method of grabbing just a handful of shit. I just keep it next to my mat, so while I'm painting swordsman, I go, "All right, I'm over this." I just grab
Yeah.
that and I make a mini, and that's where I sent that devil guy. To
I
the
like
Yeah, a
group
little
chat this morning.
cute
gonna
little
ask
imp.
about it.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
great.
Did you? So is that kit bashed from different things?
The base is, and he is supposed to have like a big flagpole, but I cut that off and made a little scythe for him. And I actually bent his horns because they're supposed to be really flat and stupid.
I like
looking.
the way that
Yeah.
you did that.
How did you bend
It
them?
looked really
Were
good.
they plastic?
Like a lighter?
No, he's metal. I used.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, I used actually this. I used my shitty snips, and I kind of just wedged them in there and slowly just kept curving it, like
Oh,
like
damn.
pipe bending, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like I would be too impatient. I'd be like, I gotta fucking bend it. Just rip it off. But yeah, that guy looked nice. He was really super
Yeah,
clean.
I'm probably gonna use him for something in D&D, and that's like the
No,
cool shit
totally.
about it too. Is once
Oh,
you
yeah.
finish it, you're like, oh, this would be perfect for this. So
Yeah, or they just end up like you play Alpha Swords, you play Brutal Quest,
Yep,
or
yep.
Planet 28, or whatever it is, and then you could just use those minis as little characters.
right, or an NPC. I need a little imp guy to tell a message.
Yeah, you do whatever the hell you want with your little guys.
That's it. My little men make the models kiss.
Steve, what were you gonna say?
I was
You
just
did
going to
that
say,
yesterday.
we'll upload all the photos of things that we're talking about to the Hive Scum Discord.
Oh, that's a good call.
Well, to the
Oh,
In
that's a
Rust
really
We
good
Trust
call.
Discord, Hive
Have
Scum
some channel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, yes. And join. If you haven't joined the Discord, there's been a lot of people that have joined, a lot of people who gave great questions, which we'll get into later. But that Discord is like.
It's blown up.
It's
And
blowing
Yeah,
up,
if
and
you're
there's
if you're if
always
you're
good
just a lurker,
conversations.
feel free to jump in the conversation.
Yeah.
All are welcome.
There's like great conversations all the time. Every time I go on there, it's like full on people talking.
It's weird. I think Phil summed it up pretty perfectly. When you start something like this, you don't really expect it. I'm
Yeah.
going in there and I'm like, there's 54 notifications in a channel that's just laughing about us being from New England. Or
You have notifications turned on, you psycho?
no.
Oh.
No. I mean, like looking at the little missed messages
Yeah.
and just seeing all these people. Like it was so funny that no one could remember this poor guy's name. Shit like that is just so funny.
And there's like a little bit for everybody. There's like old hammerheads. There's just like the people who want to paint like or like only play certain games. There's like the real grimy
Yeah,
grim
something for the
grim dark
gamers,
freaks.
something for the artists,
Scratch
RPG guys.
Scratch bashers. Oh yeah, dude. That like it's great. There's like people who have all of these opinions and all of this knowledge about this
Crocs or
wide
Birkenstocks.
variety.
Birkenstock
A
enjoyers.
lot of arguments about Crocs and Birkenstocks, which is great.
I'm gonna start a third party here, and it's gonna be barefoot.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or those
Oh.
little
It's the
the
very
shoes
Sasquatch.
that you
Yeah,
put
very-
your
No,
toes
no,
in.
no.
Wow,
It's,
how
it's
very
just like
Yeti?
the
Almost like a
planter wart
Bigfoot
crew.
would be. Sort of like how like if there was some ape creature who was living in the Pacific Northwest.
Something like that. Yeah, something with
Or
big, big
right up
dirty
the street.
feet.
I don't know if anybody knows any information about that.
Not me.
Well, I've been making these. Dude, I'm gonna call him out. Oh man, I'm forgetting his name. This guy, I want to say his name is Inquisitor something on Instagram, and he really inspired these little Battlefleet Gothic ships that I've been making. Let's see. If I
Yeah,
can
Terry
find
made
them.
some nice little ships out of trash from the bin and dirt from the floor.
Inquisitor Pariah. Inquisitor Pariah is the guy. And these are definitely, he just has STLs. This is before I was like, oh, of course it would be a huge thing. Like
Talbots.
STLs and
Like
3D
this is,
prints
I,
would
this,
be a
I think this
huge
is like
thing
an
in
AdMech
the,
backpack.
in the Battlefleet Gothic.
That's a Tauber's
World.
cannon.
Boys are looking at
That's
it right
just
now.
like that's just like a screw from the floor.
Steve's naming bits, but
am
but not on the mic.
This is
So
a.
I'm sorry.
it's still hidden.
This
from
is
the
a heavy
world. Nobody
stubber.
knows what I used.
What's that from? That's from AdMech, right?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, they're guessing parts, and I love it. You can
That's-
put it underneath the
that's-
spotlight if you want.
Those are
Blind
Tauber's
dude.
cannons with some weird bit put on the end of it.
There's like floss sticks, guitar wire, all sorts of weird like
Oh yeah. There's definitely guitar
scratch built
string
stuff.
on there.
So, Inquisitor Pariah.
Yeah, Inquisitor Pariah, it was just like kind of a mind-blowing thing. His are definitely 3D printed, although he does have scratch bashed and kitsch bashed orc like fleet. An orc fleet, just like little orc guys, because I imagine it's like a little bit easier to bash those rather than print those. And honestly, like these are much smoother and have much less like going on than the old freaking Imperial Navy Battlefleet Gothic models. Like they're so spiky, they just look like little pine cones essentially. But I've been having a blast. I mean, most of this is just stuff like left over from me taking things and using them for other projects. So if I need half of a bit, this ends up just using the other half, because I'm like, okay, I'll just take this weird square rectangle that is left over from something, and that's now the base for this little ship. And I'm like, these took me a night of just like fooling around, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep making these. They're a ton of fun.
They look great.
I'm excited I wanted to get them sprayed with silver before you guys came, so at least you can get an idea with them not being like, I don't know, like weird beads and stuff.
No, that's sick.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they're like, there's a bunch of beads in there and a bunch of other weird stuff in there. But they'll look even better once they're oil washed. They're gonna like.
Did you ever see Eric's Hobby Workshops? I think it was actually for Kill Team, where he made you're in a Space Hulk type thing, but in the background he used some ships that he made.
No way.
Like to do like a distance.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
trickery, yeah.
Like he did a background of
like
space.
a perspective kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's like a guy's in a Space Hulk. There's windows, and then
No
behind the windows are
freaking way.
Battlefleet Gothic ships, and then behind that is like a screen with
Like
outer
galaxy.
space.
And he made this
behind
as one of his videos, like
It's like a diorama.
Yeah,
or-
he
I
also
have to
did
look
it
this
too.
up.
He did the I forgot what specifically which Blanche drawing it's from, but it's the one specifically where
It's the kid talking like with the dad, right? And they're
well,
looking
yeah,
out the
but
window.
it's he specifically says he only ever used his style of the warp because he's the only one that ever depicts it as red. No other GW art has the warp as red. They have it as purple and blue.
No way.
Yeah, which I thought was just a cool little thing.
Yeah, it is really cool. And then
Shout out
Phil,
Eric's Hobby Workshop.
do you mind
Yeah.
grabbing that mostly painted goblin there too?
The only other person in the kit bashing hobby community taller than the Hive Scum podcast,
Who's taller?
Eric's Hobby Workshop.
Oh yeah,
He's a tall
probably
guy?
is.
He's a tall guy, yeah.
So for this goblin skin too, I'm pretty stoked on this. This is just like I mixed paint with that extender. Like
These are the Kev Adams.
yeah, these are the Kev Adams ones. They're like really I just base coated the skin there. But I just took green, model color green, slapped it on there with a bunch of extender all over it, like that golden extender, the retarder or whatever, like the stuff that really thins it down, and slapped a bunch of that, and then just did the same thing with a light. And then while it was still just like wet, because that lasts forever, it keeps the paint wet for so long. While it was still wet, I like didn't fully wet blend. I just splotched. There was like a huge just splotch of like green yellow, like yellow green right on top of that where the highlights would be, and then I just let it sit and then just like let it sink together naturally and just do its thing. And
So
I
it
like
blended.
yeah, it wet
by
blended
itself.
on its own.
Now, were you trying
'Cause
to
it
do
was so wet.
like a non-metallic thing on the blade there?
Yeah, that was the same thing. Like I had just gone over with like a
Okay.
gray, and then I was like, okay, I'll mix a little while it's super wet and has
Have
all
you-
that extender.
have you done
in
that
there,
before?
and
I
just
can't
kinda messed
remember.
with it. I have messed with it a little bit in the past.
Yeah.
but it's only ever really been for this. Like, the way Anna does her painting, where it's just like she uses a little tiny bit of the metallic just at the tips of things, but
Yeah.
besides that, it's
Just for
black.
like a little
That's how
reflective.
I usually like to do it. Yeah, just
It's really
a little
funny
bit.
because that look is how my models turn out if I don't clear coat them because of handling them, and you get
Yeah.
that's literally what that looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to put an oil wash on here and see what it looks like.
He looks awesome. Love the
Yeah,
skin
it's
tone.
good. It's a good base coat. I think it's pretty much done. I did a little non-metallic metal too with the in the back. I just mashed in big brush, wet like dark gray, mashed it all in there, and then I just same idea went with a really really like wet white, and then just ran it along the edge and just let that white blend into the gray, and it just looks like non-metallic metal. It's like it's like wet blending for dummy.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Yeah.
like cheating wet blending, where I'm just like, let me see if I mash a bunch of paint in here and let it do its wet blending on its own. If it does it,
It looks
it's,
great.
it's done it. Yeah, it was
Especially
great.
like the muscle definition.
yeah, and it took
The way
probably
you were holding
a
it in
day
the
and a
light,
half
you
to
could see it's
dry.
perfect. Yeah.
Shield looks like a little
forever.
Hershey's Kiss.
I know the
gotta do
shield's
some
gonna need
checkers on
some
there.
work.
That's a metal mini, right?
No, this is resin.
Oh, okay.
The originals were in metal though.
Okay.
And then when he made them for Impact Games, I think they're like specific for Impact sells them. I don't know if you can get them from anywhere else. He has his own store, but these aren't on there.
Mm-hmm.
But they, I think, sell resin versions of the metal ones. But anyways, so yeah, those are my two big things. These goblins and these little BFG guys.
The real
Little
question
ships.
is, what's going into Golden Demon?
Okay. So here's the thing. I was punishing Sarah with this earlier, and I'm like, I really kind of hope this comes up on the
Can't
podcast.
wait to hear this.
So now, you know how there's the small scale part of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all of these different things, and then there's the small scale part. And last year we were talking to Ben Comets, I think. No, Ben Comets he used like the big models for his. He had that
he
like
had the
big
crazy
dual.
duel between Sanguinius and
Dude, with the demon
Kabanda.
prince,
Yeah, the big demon.
that was my favorite piece. That
Yeah.
should have won.
But we were talking to Alexis Lehulier, is
Yep,
that
yep,
how you
yep.
say it? We were talking to him, and he was like, it's kind of not fair when people use the big miniatures, because this is a mini painting competition, and the bigger the minis get, and the more people like these ones that we're seeing use these huge minis.
dioramas.
Sam
big
Lenz had that
monsters,
awesome
vehicles.
Titan that looked really cool, but
Yeah.
it's like
The,
then they're not
the
minis
Gray and
anymore.
Queen one.
Yeah,
Which also we were talking about too when we were looking at them. The banner was all freehand.
yeah, that was really.
How does that fall into the judging?
I know.
You should win if it looks like that.
It technically has
Yes.
nothing to do with the mini though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
envious of those judges' positions at all.
I know.
But
They have
Well,
to
that's
stick
funny
to real-
because Mordheim event we have a best
God.
best warband,
sick
and I
of it.
straight up said it. I said it to this is community voted. I'm not.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Just
Yeah.
do it
Oh,
that
yeah,
way.
I'll do
And
paper
that would be a
ballots
cool
or
way to
something.
do Gold Demon, even though they
People would rig
literally
it.
couldn't. Yeah, they would
Yeah.
rig it. But I was thinking, so they had the small scale one. Alexis was also, maybe it was him. Somebody was complaining that like the small scale, everybody uses the Aeronautica Imperialis things, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's not like you're getting grots and painting little tiny grots or painting super small, actual small scale stuff.
Like-
It's the same size as like another thing that you would
Space
find in
Marine,
the 40K. Yeah, it's the same size as that. So I'm like, what if I made a little diorama and then I kit bashed an entire, like a little Battlefleet Gothic ship and just like enter it. I mean, like it wouldn't win.
Just
But it
like
would
a
be
like
fun.
should.
fight.
Well, it would get people talking at least to be like,
Yeah,
oh,
just throw something in the case.
Where's
Yeah.
that model from?
yeah, like what's this weird thing? And then people would talk like, oh, there used to be this game that was like discontinued in like whatever 2000.
You give it a cool name, so because like
Yeah.
everyone gets a little nameplate
Yep.
for their stuff.
Yeah, I would make that little thing. So I was like, man, you know what? If I am going to enter Golden Demon, like I'd rather, because I don't expect to win or even necessarily get a pin anyways, it would just be fun to have something in the case that gets people to talk about something that like doesn't quote unquote exist
fit.
in the world of GW anymore.
I think that's very sick, but I also think they kind of vet out people that aren't using an official GW mini.
Yeah, because remember
the booth.
there
But it
was
would
that
be bits.
in the open category. There was that incredible scratch built emperor sitting on the throne
by Ben Cantor, he did that.
Ben Cantor? Yeah.
Scratch built the
Incredible.
whole damn thing from
I,
green
I
stuff.
imagine it had to have been disqualified just for
Which
not
makes-
really having any Games Workshop.
But that
model
makes no
pieces.
sense because you look at old Golden Demons. Like I still have a bunch of the old White Dwarfs, and most of the winners are fully scratch built. Like
I'm
can't
sure,
remember the
yeah,
issue
but I'm
of
sure
White
they're
Dwarf.
judging. Parameters have changed over time.
yeah, but I think that's kind of silly.
Well, they had that one that was completely scratch built at the that was made like
Yes.
that was modeled. What was that? The
Yeah.
Nurgle infected orc that won gold for single mini at in the UK when they did
Yeah.
Gold Demon.
Oh, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the
remember
name
that.
of the guy who did it, but it was a completely new sculpt. He made the sculpt himself.
It was based
and
off
it was
of
based
artwork.
off artwork.
Yeah.
And
Do
so
you
I'm
think
like,
that's
man,
why though? Like, well, no, because the Golden Throne Emperor should
Totally was
technically
sculpted.
Yeah,
yeah, and so he had to enter his. I had talked to him a little bit about it. He had to enter his in open. I don't know if he made that choice himself or if they were like, listen, this only fits
Yeah.
into open.
Yeah.
But I kept going up to him being like, dude, can't wait to see that Emperor place. Like, dude, it's gonna be so sick. And he's like, it's not going to.
It's like,
Stop
mad at you.
bothering me.
go away.
Who are
Hey,
you?
weirdo.
He's like, stop bothering me. It's not going to win. Just getting more and more mad the weekend. As I keep seeing him from across the room, and just he's like, oh jeez,
He's
oh
just
god,
hiding
this
his
guy
face
again.
from you.
This has got to win, bro. It
So-
looks so good.
So you're gonna do a small diorama for the mini
I was thinking,
scale.
yeah, for the small scale one, that's just a totally kit bashed out of bits.
Is that scale
not
meant
official
for
models?
like specifically like Aeronautica, the
Aeronautica
Adeptus
fits in there.
Titanicus, like
And
all
I-
that stuff?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
don't think people use Epic or anything
Dude,
for
I'll
it
paint
anymore.
I'll paint up some War Master.
That's
stuff,
what I
Do a
mean.
little diorama of that.
Wouldn't that be cool to like enter dead game stuff into
Yeah.
this? And then it's who cares? I don't care what happens to it. Some kid is gonna walk by and go like, look at that. What, Dad? What is this ship from? Like, I've never seen that before. And then like his dad's gonna explain this dead game to his kid, and his kid's gonna be hyped on that thing that doesn't exist anymore. Like, I don't know. I think that's
New
awesome.
age.
Yeah, and then his dad is getting punished, going on
Yeah.
eBay. I guess I'll find you these
fucking-
fucking 20-year-old models, kid.
$55 for 2 miniatures?
Dude, if he's lucky, I bet.
You'll get a Lego set for Christmas,
Yeah.
and you'll like it.
We're gonna make this out of the trash, which would be cool, honestly.
Yeah, also
if some
very
dad
cool.
were to be like, okay, we'll make you these. And plus, on top of that, it's made out of bits. It's
Yeah.
not an official model. You don't have to go to fucking eBay and buy this shit. If you think this looks cool, you can go home and raid your shit bit box, the stuff you never used.
Right.
Totally.
Some of those bits are like my first trip to the Battle Standard getting bits, and one of them, the one with the 2 long engines in the back, that was the first bit I ever got, and I like found it and I was like, wait, I never used this for anything, and it is the basis for that ship now because it just
Perfect.
fits perfect. It looks like 2 huge engines kind of sticking off the back.
Oh, is that the back of the ship? I was looking
Yeah,
at it.
I switched it. It
Oh.
was the front, and it actually was upside down, and I was like, it looks better
See, dude,
this
you would
way.
never be a proper ship captain. You'd be targeting all the wrong sectors
It
of
was
this thing.
it was originally like the other way,
I
and then
thought
I was
that
like, it looks
the
kind of
front
cool.
Cannons of it that would
No,
shoot
so
way
those are
over
the
it.
back
That thing
engines.
would be doing circles in space if it shot
Well,
stuff that
hey,
big.
listen, let's not get into the models and their inconsistency with like how
We're
big
done.
the guns are.
It's funny the bits category. I was on eBay the other day when I was sniping some deals. Bit sellers have gotten out of control with their pricing.
Insane.
Dude, we've hyped him up too much.
Dude,
We
30
we're the problem.
$33 for a bag of like, I wanted to say it was like maybe, no, it wasn't 6 ounces. There's no way it was 6 ounces.
That's
Dude,
some like
It's
weird.
just assorted stuff. You don't even
Yeah,
know what
but
you're
he
getting.
weighs it, and it's like, here's the giant collection of everything, but I weigh it out in baggies, and I sell you the baggie, and the baggies are like $30-something for a baggie.
oh, and it's all
Pass.
Space Marine arms.
You know, it's
Oh,
No,
way
there were some
down.
good bits in there. I was looking at it, I was like, can I just buy all of this?
those bit sites that charge you based
Per
on,
bit?
based on per bit, but also by weapon.
What?
Those are the ones that need to go.
Yeah.
What do you mean per weapon? What
It'll
does
be
that
like
mean?
Good weapons.
Yeah, whatever's
worth more.
meta literally goes up in price.
That's so whack.
Yeah.
How
Plasma.
lame
Oh,
do you
plasma
have
guns
to
are good
be?
now. Cool. Yeah, those are twice the
How-
price now.
Oh, I'm gonna like to just be totally void of any sort of like personalization or caring at all about you're just ripping off the old guns to stick these new ones on because that's what's powerful right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's like we were saying
Oh
last
my God.
episode
I guess so,
with
yeah.
the guy building the orcs the day
in his
before
bedroom, in his
I heard
hotel
these are
room.
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear this day. Phil, what you been paying? Because I wanted to do you last because, dude, you're good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's
Yeah,
killing
you
it.
just
Okay.
tell us about
I
it.
mean, this week I probably spent between 15 and 20 hours on one model, my big monster, my Gorgon, the hungering foe, and that's definitely the biggest model I've ever painted. But I'm pretty stoked on how it came out. I feel like because anyone who's seen any pictures of my stuff, all conspicuously unbased. I think you should probably start on that one because it's a huge base,
Yeah.
a lot of room to work with.
yeah.
I grabbed that model from him yesterday and just showed random people.
It's
I was like, check this out. And
Isn't
he's
this
just
a great
like, wow,
paint
this
job?
is great. And I'm like, nope.
Can
that's
you get
not
away
the
from
response.
me?
Yeah, I'm like, you need
Stop
to look at this more.
bothering
The war paint on Hungering Foe is perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the model mostly finished, and I was looking at him like this. I mean, it seems really drab. I got to do something else. And I wanted to throw like the little like war paint flourishes on this and that. I am kind of worried about overdoing it, so I've kind of just been like putting all my finished minis to the side and like, well, maybe I'll go back and finish.
Pick out certain ones.
Yeah, pick out certain ones that have like a good, spot of open flash or
maybe
something.
a guy that did something like
you're
in a game.
earns his
earns
his stripes.
Yep.
Yeah, I do something like that. And then yesterday I was sitting in the shop and I was building my Jabber Scythe. Nice monster that Gage printed for me. Can't wait to play that in game.
Did you? Sorry to take you off this, but did you print my Void Horizon minis?
Damn.
Wow, called out, huh?
Called out on the pod.
No, because I'm printing Phil's.
Gage works 60 hours a week. Leave him alone.
The dude's stuck in traffic for 12 hours a day.
Playing Elden Rings on the drive.
I'm printing Phil's. I forgot the Shaggoth.
Oh, the Shaggoth,
Or
yeah.
Ancient Centagon from whatever.
Clay Beast Creation.
Yeah.
Shout out Clay Beast Creation.
Yeah, their
Honestly,
sculpts are
friend
sick.
of
Yeah,
mine.
they are.
Yeah, they're whoever that artist is, their sculpts are phenomenal. Big fan.
Phil was telling the lore of Beastmen to
Shouting it at everyone and telling
Shouting
it
it
that's
to
amazing.
Kevin.
to all of the store
Oh
employees
my
yesterday.
God, I love Kevin so much
Wow.
too. Like he just probably and Kevin will just be like, "Yeah, that sounds really
Well,
cool." He'll
the
just
whole
sit
point
there
of the
and listen to it
discussion was because he's like hyper focused on Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
And we were talking about like how he needs to learn to talk to people about, because it's not a Magic the Gathering store. They have all
Yeah.
sorts of different things. And so I think Perry was making a point, shout out Perry, Big P,
Yeah.
about how, and just had me give an example of just like explaining the, the lore, the modeling, the gaming behind
Oh my
this
God,
one
dude,
model.
just imagine learning all of that for your job so you can sell minis, though. That's
Yeah.
a lot of work.
But then I was just
something
like,
you don't care about.
I think after the the primer that I gave him was like, well, actually, I think the problem is more so that people that are coming into LGS don't actually know how to communicate typically anyway.
It's
So
hard to, it's hard when that's like your job is to like figure out what type of person this is
Yeah.
that's coming in. That like, how do I break down something to them?
Well, it's
That's
also
gonna work.
like, do they even want to talk to me?
100%. I don't ever want to talk to anybody.
No,
in an
Lee,
LGS.
get away from me until I ask you for help.
100%. Yes.
Which I feel like is kind.
I feel like it's that meme of like the mechanic dad walking into like Home Depot where the employee's like, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "I know more than you."
Oh
And you're
yeah.
like, okay.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah. So it's the same thing going into. I don't know if it's like that,
No.
but if you're going into an LGS and they're like, "Oh, what are you in for today?" You're like, "I don't care. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to you. I just want to
Yeah.
go get my paint."
There's certain people.
Yeah, we can vibe about this later, but I'm on a warpath right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the store. Well, how can I help you? What do you need? What do you want? Hey, check this out.
Yeah.
No.
I'm here for green stuff. Get away from me.
I need paint.
Well, we have 40 different varieties of paints.
The new AK paints. Check them out.
The real reason I brought that up is because I just wanted to put Phil on blast. He was making his models kiss while he was talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
the Beastman lore.
making them kiss, making them fight,
I love making models kiss. Honestly, there should be Kissing Game 28 just needs
Yeah.
to be a thing.
kissing booth.
Wait, who used the
Kissing
bathroom? This is
28.
aside from our painting hobbies, but who used the bathroom last in there?
That would be Steve.
That was me.
Steve, did you leave the seat up? Just out of curiosity. I don't know if you did.
No, I
Like
left
cats
it.
go
I put it
falling.
down.
Perfect.
I put it down.
No, like
completely.
the lid, I should say.
Oh,
not
yeah,
the
lid
seat. I
was
don't-
down all
Okay,
the way.
perfect. I just don't want the cats drinking. They will totally just drink out of the toilet.
That
And
rocks.
so I just thought of it. I was like, oh man, I hope we had leave the lid up. Otherwise, they
Didn't
do.
flush. Left the lead.
They'll get like fully like Spider-Man out inside of the bowl just to like drink shit water. Dude, Sarah leaves little bowls for them all over the house, and they're like, "Nah, we don't want that. We want like your paint water. That's the good stuff, or the toilet water. Oh, I can't get enough. Freaking cats, man.
I used to-
Seasoned.
So
Seasoned, definitely.
my old cat Laura, when
Dude, Laura was the best.
The old apartment, I had a giant mason jar, which I still have that jar, and I keep all my paint water in it. And I kind of painted out in the middle of the room. And once in a while, I would see the water level was really low in it, and I never could figure out why. Because I was like, the cat wouldn't drink that. Like, it's dirty water.
gross.
And one day, I caught Laura drinking the dirty water.
Oh,
And I was,
so flavorful.
yeah.
It's like
And I
vitamin
learned,
water.
Don't leave it out.
Delicious.
I think I'd rather drink paint water than most vitamin waters.
We should package it. We should do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Painter's Bliss.
Real
a good
gamer water. And
Sell it out of
gamer
mason
one.
jars, $10 a
Oh,
bottle.
God, dude. Yeah, and then you could use the cup to paint with after.
So
It's pretty good, dude.
That's a good
Honestly,
deal.
It's pretty good. All right, we're gonna scrap this for the pod so we could make a lot of money later doing it.
Buy Hive Scum water. It's just all green and brown mixed paint water.
Oh, Jesus.
with a little pinup calendar of all of us.
Phil, did you have
yes.
anything you wanted to add though about the Beastman? I'm sorry, I was just thinking
No,
about
no,
this
no,
damn
that's all.
toilet.
That's all.
I had a moment.
Toilet talk, you
Dude,
know?
so we've been
Toilet talk.
crushing it though. I'm excited to keep playing these AOS games. Not playing today, but I am excited for the future of the undead and my zombie horde because
Yeah, we're starting to rope in more people from the
I know.
LGS into our campaign.
and they're all like
Shout out Sam.
Sam's
Friend of the pod.
lore.
Sam, shout out
Sam's
Dakota.
lore is sick. Yep.
Was like huge, and I'm like, oh, I'm such a slacker. I haven't even put my lore
You
up
haven't
here
put
yet,
your
but now
lore
I
yet.
did because I
Yeah.
saw Sam did
Yeah,
so
I feel
much
bad
work.
about my.
I didn't
I
read
feel
these.
bad about my lore now.
Your
No,
lore's
your
great.
lore's great. I
Well,
read
listen,
it for the last.
well, here's the thing. Everybody gave their people motivation, and all I did was just write like a bunch
your
of $10 words about
Right.
The,
Yeah, but it
about
sells the
beast.
story.
But
Yeah.
Also,
do they need to?
Have a motivation?
Right.
I think so.
Because every time I've encountered your army, well, once in the campaign now,
Yeah.
it was just like, oh fuck, we came to the wrong spot.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
these guys are gonna
Wrong
fuck us
neighborhood,
up.
motherfucker.
Yeah, literally.
Beastmen can definitely be pretty one-dimensional. They're all the motivation of all Beastmen is pretty much just to trample civilization,
Right.
grounded in the dust, and that's really it.
Now, would you ever do any, just out of curiosity, any Bigfoot based Beastman?
Oh my god! All right,
should
Terry's
3D
punishing me.
I'm just asking.
All right, here we go.
yeah.
Here's the
I'm
next
just
segment. Perfect
asking.
segue, Terry.
Okay, for the listener, I recently, maybe has something to do with my emotional, psychological state of mind. I've fallen into a near religious belief in relict hominids. Bigfoot being the layman's term.
Yeti,
Hell yeah.
abominable
Hell
snowman.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I feel like there's a real good opportunity for Bigfoot related Beastmen. I feel like that would be a
Yeah?
cool like kit
Gotta
battle.
get him in
I
there.
mean,
Well, that's
Beastmen
dude.
are
Here's the
Bigfoot,
thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but use some like
Well, the thing is
Wookiee,
the ogres have Yetis, but the models look like shit.
They are.
They
awful.
don't look like relics hominids.
I will say Jared's Yetis that he 3D printed from
Dude.
Battle Standard.
Yeah.
His ogre army looks so good,
I
and
know.
he has some 3D printed Yetis, and
I
they
wanna
look
see him painted
awesome.
up.
Yeah,
Jared, if you're
yeah,
listening to
throw
this,
some
paint
rocks
up
and trees.
your-
Paint your
Oh,
damn
yeah.
models,
I
Jared.
don't know if Jared would listen to this podcast, but if you do listen, Jared, paint your.
I sent him the
damn
podcast.
ogres.
He
Well,
has.
you should check it out while he paints.
He's too busy owning a business.
He is too busy.
I will
So-
say his painting.
Jared's a good dude.
Have you
I like
seen
that
his
guy.
the Valkyrie with the guys dropping down?
Dude, insane! It's so fucking cool.
That thing lights up.
It lights up. It
Yeah.
has LEDs in the base. The guy's like holding a flashlight, and it lights
Guys
up.
are zip lining down
Oh,
from the Valkyrie.
Dude, guys, I'm like, how did you even do that? I don't know. Yeah, that's a really fucking cool model.
Yeah. So, anyways, to all our Pacific Northwest Canadian listeners, if you got any stories, information regarding
yes.
the creature known as Sasquatch, let me know. And if you don't believe, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah, straight up, 100%. But imagine if we get some Bigfoot stories. We got a lot
That would
of
be pretty tight.
PNW listeners.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I said it.
Yeah,
Washington is
we can
rife
get this.
with.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna
Oh,
be
I
real,
know.
boys.
Oh, I know where it is. You don't have to fucking tell
I'm
me.
not telling you. I'm telling our listeners.
I don't know what PNW means. At this
Pacific
point.
Northwest.
Okay. At this point, all these dudes are like, yo,
Cascadia.
PNW boy, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
we're getting PNW
so is that-
after
is
lunch.
that California? Is that Washington? Where
I would
are
say
you?
I would say Pacific Northwest is probably like Northern California.
Who the fuck
Oregon,
says that though?
Washington.
Do they say
Colorado.
like we're PNW?
No, I just said it on.
I
the pod.
think so.
just-
No,
you
no,
know
no,
what
no.
I mean?
Listen. In
I
a
don't think
outsider
anybody
context,
says
I think
it.
it makes sense. But it's not like we're saying like, yeah, what up, NE boys?
Wow.
That's true.
We're New England.
We'll take any boys. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New England.
It's like when you say CPK. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
California.
Cabbage Patch.
Come on.
Yeah.
you guys-
Cabbage Patch. Oh, I never thought about
The
that.
listeners on the pod are going to know what CPK is. You guys got to know what CPK is. California Pizza Kitchen, bro.
Yeah.
You know California Pizza
Yeah,
Kitchen?
yeah.
No, bro.
It's definitely
There
like
was
a
one
dead
in the mall
restaurant
for
now.
like
Yeah.
20 years. I don't know if it's still
Definitely
there.
a dead restaurant.
In,
now. I
West
don't think
Farms?
it's even in business
Yeah.
anymore. But like
That
bad
place sucks
pizza,
ass.
so bad, so bad. I love that we're just going into pizza.
Shout
again
out to
in
the
this
West Farms
podcast.
Mall,
Yeah.
Shout out West Farms Mall.
bougie ass destination mall
Yeah,
Is there a
in
Games
Hartford
Workshop?
County, Connecticut. There was a Games Workshop there. Yeah.
And then it moved to the
it was
Better
there
Mall.
forever.
No, they were both there at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, they both
Oh,
existed at
shit.
the same time.
I misspoke.
And there's a Funko Land across the street. That was my jam.
Yeah, I don't think
Funko-
Funko Land
Rest in peace,
also
Funko
doesn't
Land.
exist. Was Funko
Funko
Land a
Land's fun.
regional or was Funko Land
Maybe.
everywhere? People,
Yeah, PNW.
yeah, all these PNW freaks and everywhere else. Chime in. Did Funko Land exist everywhere else? It was
It must have.
akin to GameStop,
Yeah,
just a
GameStop
video game
bought
store.
them.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did.
okay.
Yeah.
And there were other things that were like, well, retro games, but that's like probably that's got to be local.
That's
Yeah,
local,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Retro Games.
But they
Plus.
got those kind of places
They
everywhere
do-
now.
oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
different
yeah.
names now.
Used
There's so
games.
much money in that shit,
Yeah.
Very cool.
dude. Tales from the Crypt.
Dude, Tales from the Crypt.
So this is a little section that we wanted to do. What do we want to focus on today? Tales from the Crypt.
Should we do round robin? Everyone tells a little story.
Tell us a little story about what. What are you thinking?
I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah,
a
you
game
put me
you
on
played.
the spot like that.
I'll go first.
I thought
mean,
Tales,
Yeah, please go and like hype us up a little bit.
I
That'd
mean,
be pretty cool. Get
I mean,
us
it could be
started.
any. So let's just go over what it could be. Like, I mean, it could be a game store you visited when you were a kid. It could be a game you played at one point in time that was really cool. Like,
Oh, this is a cool little
so
segment.
I mean,
like
I'll
this.
start it off. Just
Yes, please do. Hype
so
us
I'm just
up a
gonna
little
talk.
bit.
I'm just gonna talk the game I just played with Sam because it was very thematic. Like,
Yes.
it was very cool. So me and friend of the pod Sam, that's in our Age of Sigmar campaign, we had a game starting Army Force because they just joined. I was the first game that they played.
Yeah,
Unfortunately
Correct.
for them,
We have four games deep by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4
or
five.
6 depending on
how
yeah,
fast you
yeah.
are.
Our soft 3-game.
Yeah, we
max.
do minimum 2 games a month, maximum 3, as far as progressing your army.
We'll go into the actual rule because someone had asked about our custom Path to Glory campaign,
Yeah?
so we'll
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about it more in depth a little later.
Yeah.
But for the quick and dirty of it,
Yeah.
Sam played their Gloomspite Gits. I played Ogres.
Fantastically painted.
Oh my
Perfectly
god,
painted.
amazing! We'll throw some pictures. Actually, I think they put pictures up in the
Discord?
channel.
Maybe. They probably the only aquarium colors take that doesn't look like it's just straight from an aquarium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I hate that shit where it's just bright blue, bright yellow, and you're like,
Yeah.
Terry would know all about that
What?
with those ghosts you got.
Oh yeah. I do love that. It was a perfect base for like slapping an oil wash on though, and dulling all of that bright pastel-y colors down. They were just shot with the airbrush beforehand.
Yeah.
But that game that you played against Sam was
It was insane.
it
yeah,
was
what happened?
so cool.
Me and Gage were playing our
Yeah, I
our
feel like I
game
was the only one that, like, watched
simultaneously,
it.
so
It was
I don't
so
think
cool.
So the game, what was the actual?
It was Escape the Edge, wasn't it? It was something like that. Like they had to
Is it
escape.
Breakthrough? Is Breakthrough the mission?
I think
where you
so.
have to
I
get
know
to
that
the
is
other.
the name of a mission.
But it's like that,
I
right?
have it
You
in my
to
notebook. I don't have my
escape,
notebook with me. It's in the car, but
into a corner or something like that.
yeah, they had to escape the edge,
Yep.
and I was the defender.
Mm-hmm.
I killed almost every. I killed every model that Sam had on the board, other than their hero, their AOA hero.
So just had one hero in the midst of these huge ogres.
Snaz gut slug poke,
Something like that.
sliz guy.
Yeah, get that name because that's a cool,
Snap
cool name.
keeper.
It's definitely slug poke because that's. I'm not gonna forget that.
But yeah,
So-
go, what were we saying?
Kind of overwhelming. Forced his goblins and felt bad about it, but at the same time they were a great sport about the game.
Yeah.
Our last turn, they were not near the board edge. So I surrounded them. I was ready to kill them. And I said, I'm going to give you this turn. I'm going to kill everything. I'm going to kill the last 3 guys you got. And I'm not going to kill your hero. But if you don't route on your turn, I'm killing him next turn. Next turn comes. He managed to get a spell off.
Was it the hand of
It was Hand of Gork.
Yep.
Gork.
I missed the dispel.
teleport across the table?
So the way it rolled out was the whole game, Sam's Bad Moon never entered the battlefield, which gives him
It's a fucked up
bonuses.
mechanic.
Oh,
it's
shit.
very RNG.
it shows its age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Bad Moon comes in and it gives him buffs and bonuses, all these
You
things.
roll to see when the bad moon kind of appears at
Oh,
its zenith
cool.
over the table and gives you these table-wide buffs.
But
Oh,
it
that's
never
awesome.
arrived. The whole game. The final turn, it arrived. So you got +1 to casting. You got all this stuff, and they rolled like a 9 or 10. They rolled a 10 on casting, so it went off. And I went to dispel it, and I rolled a 9. I beat their score, but because of the Bad Moon buff,
The +1.
the +1, I didn't beat it. I met it. So they pulled their model, put it at the edge, and they ended up escaping.
Which is so cool. Like that's you play a whole game and you just kick butt the whole time, and then the last turn your opponent just goes, actually, bloop, see you later. And
Gork
it's such a
said
cool
no.
mechanic. Gork said no. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It was very thematic because like all the ogres literally just crowded around this one goblin, ready to pummel him into oblivion, and he got out of there, got to the board edge, got a minor victory, started off the campaign good.
So
So
cool.
shout out Sam, shout out opponent Sam. Sam,
Yeah.
you crushed it.
Yeah, that was really, really dope.
I played Sam yesterday and had a very different.
Is this going to be your tale?
It's
This
not
is
gonna be
all
my
about
tale.
Sam?
Oh, we're just talking about Sam.
Yeah, we're just hyping Sam up. No, the game we had yesterday was kind of just my demigriffs finally got devastating charge as a veteran ability, so they kind of crushed into the squigs, and then proceeded to surround them with 4 units and just crush my demigriff knights. But my great swords,
Wow, yeah.
It did a lot of work.
they just crushed everything in their path.
Those trolls, are they trolls or troggots?
Stone gut troggoths.
Those are strong units.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for Sam, they did the same thing. They cast the hand of Gork or Mork or whatever, got him the other side of the table, and then missed the charge.
Missed
And
the
then,
charge.
and then they were just out of range to receive any commands.
Couldn't
for the
get a
whole
command,
game. Yeah.
and then just stayed there. So my great swords turned around and just minced them.
I think they definitely took some great swords with them though.
They only killed 2 from rock throws
Okay.
because I can't do anything.
So I know
about
they were really whittled down by the end.
that. That was by the stabbas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sneaky snufflers?
The sneaky snufflers.
Snufflers.
So the sneaky thing about those models is that they buff everything around them.
Yep.
That's a very cool mechanic.
That's why they're sneaky.
Well, that's why
So
my
sneaky.
crossbowman had to go around the corner and just immediately end that. That couldn't happen anymore.
Scary sneaky. You got a tale for the crypt?
tale
From
for
the
the
crypt
crypt.
and for it.
I mean, I feel like I kind of can cheat this one out by Phil and I's game is like got to be one of my favorite gaming memories of just like tabletop wargaming in general.
Honestly, it was so good.
You mean it wasn't the game me and you played? Getting
I don't even remember that, Steve. It lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was dark. You started after me and Phil started our game right next to you, and then I turned over on our turn 2, and I was like, oh wait, why are you packing up all your minis, Gage?
Oh, they're beyond dead.
Oh, they've been dead for
I
a half hour now.
routed at the start of turn 2. Oh, I went. There's no point.
Well, don't tell that tale of the crypt.
No,
Get that
no,
one
no.
out of your memory. Plunge
Yeah, but that was like a real shit mission where
It was a shit mission.
Steve, what was it? On his first or second turn, he could
turn.
he could deep strike 3 inches away.
3
from
inches
Yeah,
you.
you want
away,
to talk about
half his
broken
army.
rules in
Yeah,
the campaign? It's that. That made no sense.
jeez.
That's got to be one of my favorite.
You're in Phil's game.
Yeah, our
Oh, dude, it was
wargaming game
great.
for sure.
It was so good. It was like I was watching a movie play, and it was like I was so jealous that you two got to experience that.
Yeah, we got some good pictures.
The so I think the plan is eventually once our campaign kind of ends, we're gonna kind of publish this somewhere, maybe in Under the Dice or
Probably, or whatever.
Yeah, these little bits and pieces.
Yeah,
or
we'll
maybe
have to-
make like our own little supplement zine to throw in with it or
Oh,
something.
that would be cool. Yeah.
Because I really want. I mean, we'll go into this with the questions later because I know someone asked, but I really want to compile all of the quests and like everyone's codexes, all of the battle plans, because some of the narrative battle plans just suck ass.
Yes.
Like that one where it's just like it wouldn't matter whose army it was. A 3-inch.
That's completely broken and unfair.
A 3-inch deep strike on half an army is not. No one's having fun in that.
Now, we read that rule.
Steve is.
That's exactly like how it reads and how it plays, which
Yes.
makes no sense.
Yes.
Like that breaks everything in the game's rule book as
Yeah.
far as deep striking and coming in from reserve. So, if anyone out there plays Path to Glory and has any idea of if we played that right, or if we played it wrong.
We absolutely played
mean,
it right from rules as written. I just think it's meant to be. You just got to hold your own. It's literally called
I think
hold
what
or
it
die.
is you really have to read the mission before you deploy or anything, because I think you guys didn't realize.
No, we stopped after we read it, and I said, you can move all of your guys. Like,
Yeah, because we realized how bad it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, my prize unit is going to have to be a speed bump because of how it's set up. And I said, well,
and
it is what it is.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't even think it was a speed bump. It was like the asphalt that they take is still there in the winter when they remove the speed bump and you still just fly over it. That's what
Plows
happened.
pummeled it.
Yeah.
But what's a good? Do you guys have a good breakdown of your game? Like what happened step by step? Can you remember that kind of stuff? There's a lot that happened.
I mean, every game
Told the end.
that I play in Path of Glory, I write down the notes, but of course I don't have the notebook here.
Oh yeah.
The
Just like some. You told
so-
that memory before of Darien.
Right, so the whole point was, I finally got my reinforcements, so my guys go to the Realm Gate to pick up units, so I start in the very corner of the map, whereas Phil has a complete half circle covering every
the deployment
position.
I essentially had from one corner of the board diagonally to the other, and I had to kind of spread my whole army out, and he had to
Just
bust
defense.
Break on
through.
through, go to the other corner.
Yeah.
Rough,
So
dude.
I had finally 2 units of Demigryph Knights on the edges,
Very cool.
and then I had my crossbowmen kind of dead center, because Phil didn't know this, but my quest right now is to end the game with units in my starting territory.
Yeah.
It's pretty contrary to what the mission was.
Exactly. So I needed to kind of park my crossbowmen there to get that quest, because once I finish that quest, then I can really. I chose a really hard quest to start with to get the
me
Kron
too.
Spine.
Yeah.
It is very cool, though.
So once my guys kind of find this relic that they're searching for, their whole Holy Grail quest,
Your army's going to get broken.
I hope. Maybe I can start hitting some speed bumps. But so the whole deployment was my 2 Demigryph Knights on the sides and my crossbowmen dead center, and then my 20 Great Swordsmen plus my heroes, and that was all we had. I had to go through Phil's guys and just mulched a line straight through, while the Demigryphs kind of just had to hold off his bruisers, because you had Minotaurs on one side and
Dragon Ogres
on the other. What's the cooler name for Dragon Ogres?
Thunderscorn.
Thunderstorm.
I hate
so
I
cool.
hate the name Dragon Ogre.
Yeah, it's really
Drogers.
It's really
Drogers.
Drogers, dude. Freaking Drogers. Noochie.
I like Shaggoth. Shaggoth, that's like the ancient Dragon Ogre.
I was saying, is there like
pretty chill
a
name,
dragon
too.
sub theme to?
Shaggoth.
What's that?
Is there like a dragon sub theme? Because the thing I printed you is like a weird tentacle fucking.
Well, that thing that you printed was a Jabberslythe. And a Jabberslythe is essentially just supposed to be the most.
I just hear Steve sniffing on
Oh,
the
I thought I was.
Sniffles.
I thought I
I
was
was like,
doing
whose
something.
nose do I hear on this pod right now? It's just definitely Steve's.
No, Jabberslythe. The idea behind a Jabberslythe is kind of just like a chaos spawn on crack.
Okay.
It's just a huge monster with a lot of wounds. Makes everyone around it just go insane by its presence.
Yeah, because
It's got a real sort of like Lovecraftian.
one of the other sculpts I saw was very Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
Very comes from. I think it had a water base actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's dope.
But yeah, so pretty much that game was just my my 3 Demigryphs on both sides crashing into his Dragon Ogres and Minotaurs, and just mulching down through the line of his infantry until
Yeah, I had all the softy guys in the middle.
Yeah.
I got really lucky with my first flaming
Your
crossbows. Yeah, ignite weapons.
Ignite
Yeah.
weapons.
Oh, yeah, that's a neat one.
So
So cool.
which we also had the cinematic viewpoint of. I mowed down half, because half of his guys were kind of all deployed in the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
We mowed down half his units, and then
He killed more than half of the unit. Yeah.
you got to roll.
I had the fucked up Beastman thing because they were within the unit was entirely within 12 inches of the herdstone, so they rally on a 4-up. So what that means is each guy that dies at the beginning of my next turn, I roll a dice for each guy, and on a 4-up they just come back. So I had a unit of 20, you killed 12,
Yep.
and I brought 6 back immediately.
So we were saying just the visual of like these beastmen just getting fucking pummeled by flaming crossbow bolts,
so cool.
falling down and out of the tree line. There's just more and more
Just piling
crawling over
over
their
them,
corpses, just still running and
So
snorting, and yeah.
you describing this and how cool the game was, I would love to see like an old style like White Dwarf battle report, like with the
Right?
pictures where you see the models, like where they move in
Yes.
at the end of the turn.
Yeah,
and stuff.
the diagrams.
We
If you
should
send
maybe-
me the notes from this, I would love to write up like an old school
Yeah.
bat rep with like
we should start
pictures.
just taking pictures at the beginning.
Yeah,
and
when
end of our
we
turns,
started the
top down view.
campaign, I was really good about writing the battle reports.
Yeah.
The other day I was looking at my just photos on my phone, and I have 1,500 plus photos from the battle standard alone. I think
Wow.
if we take, because I was looking for one photo from East Windsor and it showed up and I was like, no way.
Oh,
So if we
man.
start doing White Dwarf battle reports, that's gonna triple by the end of the year.
that's
Yeah,
really
all
cool.
you need
Yeah,
is
let's
a
do
photo
it,
at the end of each.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like more
yeah.
photos than I have in my camera roll.
Yeah.
I
You
delete
just-
things though a lot.
For the battle reports, I remember it would just be like when someone. It would be at the end.
Well,
of
it would
either
start with a
turn
very
or
cheesy
round.
80s like thumbs
Two
up.
guys.
Oh, you
like-
got to do the thumbs up. We have to do
Yes.
that because that is like the coolest part of the battle report.
Yes.
Them shaking hands at the end, both smiling,
Yeah.
That's crazy because I only have 97 photos.
97. Well, I mean,
and his
so
whole phone.
Terry and I will take 30 photos of just trying to
Oh, I
get this
know.
one
It's
model.
just one guy's face.
Yeah.
Just like this guy's face looks so.
Like
cool.
yesterday, I was trying to get the crossbowman or the spear, great swords pointing at the one.
Oh, that was good at the goblin. That was sweet looking.
I took maybe 12 photos trying to get the focus correctly on that.
Yeah.
Cat is losing
Yeah,
its
the
mind.
cat's. He'll,
Let him in.
Yeah,
Well,
the cat
if
is trying to kick
you
the
gotta let
door
him in
down.
until if he starts biting cords or whatever, he's just gonna end up coming up here, and then he'll probably try and steal minis and leave. Yeah, he's a real mini thief, this guy.
We'll see. Do you want to eat some popcorn?
Or he'll just bite cords,
Dude,
which is
here
like
you go, buddy, some
you don't even.
popcorn.
There's not much that gets me mad, but as soon as that guy opens his mouth to put it on one of the cords in this room, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill someone. I get so mad. I just see red. I'm like, dude, stop, because it's like. I don't know. Dude, some of these cords, man, they're like expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I come in here one day and it's just gnawed through, I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh, he found the popcorn on the floor.
We're gonna
Well,
throw Ernie in a washing
Try not to
machine.
feed him too much
Punish him.
popcorn either, dude. Otherwise, I'll be cleaning up his spray diarrhea later. Good
Shout out to the
podcast.
Pet Spam channel in the
Oh yeah,
in
there
the
you
Discord.
go. Thanks for tying it back because this is a lot of diarrhea talk. Go ahead. Oh,
he's
just
eating
in
it.
general.
That was it.
He's eating it.
Oh my
Yes,
God,
that
don't
was-
feed him too much.
I didn't
popcorn.
feed it to him. That was just a scrap.
Dude, you're chunky as it is, bro. They can't be eating this butter ass popcorn. Gage, you done with your story?
That's all I had.
All right, so I want to tell the story of Gaslands 2022 at Adepticon. Just
Gaslands.
really quick. So first off, I love Gaslands. I think it's really cool mechanics. I think the fact that you could just go buy a Hot Wheels car from CVS
have,
for a
we,
buck.
have we spoken about Gasland before?
A little bit. It's come up like
Have we given
here
an
or there.
explanation of it?
We'll have the box at Mordheim and Adepticon for cars if you want to.
Oh,
yeah, if you're coming through,
Oh
come hang
yes,
out.
dude, totally. Because they just have those in the garage now, so people can just take them and go and paint them up. Dude, they're
Did I
super
give you the
easy to
box?
paint. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have them.
Okay.
Yeah, Gaslands is a mini agnostic kind of death race tabletop game.
It's
Yep.
Mad Max,
Yep.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mad
and,
Max takes place on Earth. All of the rich people have gone to Mars, and you are fighting for a spot to go. Like you can go to Mars if you like win
Yeah.
the death race, essentially.
Okay.
So all these cars just have rocket launchers. They have mini guns. They got like crew members hanging out of windows, firing SMGs at each other. It is an awesome game. So last year, Adepticon had Gaslands, the White Line Massacre or Nightmare or something like that.
World champion.
It was like I don't even remember how many spots there were, but
They had
There
a
was-
spot available that
yeah,
day.
there were 2 rounds, and like honestly, I'm sure they will have spots available this year too. It's all sold out, but it's also I think the same day.
A bunch
the
of people
Mordheim
didn't show
event.
up though last time.
And that's I would just sneak in if I had time to do it. I will bring my cars and just sneak in there. So I played first round. First thing is I was really sick at
Well,
Adepticon.
wait a minute.
I
Wait
think
a minute.
one thing that you're bearing the lead is I think you played a single introductory game of Gaslands
yes, thank
and then
you.
said, I'm going to sign up for this.
This world championship.
The World
And then
Championship of Gasland.
cue Rocky music, Terry running up the stairs, training every
Got to
week.
get games in every
Literally
week to
read the
practice.
whole book cover to cover, like playing games, to practice.
If
but-
Shout out Osprey Games for making Gasoline.
dude, it's such a good game.
And here we go. So that's the setup. Tell us how it went. Tell us how you did.
So I'll get to you know what I mean. We'll get to that. But I roll up. There's 2 rounds of play, and I'm in a pod of I think 5 of us, maybe 6 of us, maybe 4. It might have just been 4 of us actually. I think I'm like hopped up on Dayquil because I'm like I have to be able to pay attention to this game because if you touch a template, a movement template, you have to use it. So you have to have them all spread out and like know exactly what you need in the moment.
Yeah, no pre-measuring.
No pre-measuring.
Well, you gotta eyeball it.
It's totally eyeball, and people will call you out on it. And I also I took a bunch of Dayquil. I'm ready to go, and I have Dayquil in my pocket, like the little pills. I'm ready to go, and roll up. Instantly felt the vibe. Was like, first off, Gaslands is a game you play with fucking Hot Wheels cars. Like, I was like, I'm gonna make it a point to like hype everyone up. So like anytime anybody did anything, I was like, yeah, it's so sick, dude, how'd you do that? Like, oh man, I've never even seen that build before. Like, what's your sponsor? Like, blah blah blah, this, that, and whatever. And just really like had people having a good time.
So what was your rig before we get into?
So I had
You went for a real speed.
the
build,
actual car I think was a Barracuda or no, it was a Charger. And so the Charger was painted red, had sick yellow pin or stripes going down, like racing stripes going down. It was meant to go fast. I spent all of my points they do points as far as cans. That's how they factor in points. I used all of my points on speed, motherfucker. I was like, I'm going fast. And I was like, I want everybody behind me. So the only things I took were mines in the back. I think I took mines in the back, and there was something else, but besides, I took nitrous. It's just straight rocket booster I had in the back. I had like nitrous. I was just going to go fast, leave people in the dust, drop mines as I went, which is why when I saw that dude in the truck, I was like, sayonara, like I'm out of here, because there's no, you're never going to catch me. You won't even have time to shoot me because you got to go through the first gate to be able to shoot. But anyways, I'm hyping people up. And I read this rule cover or this rule book cover to cover. I get to the last stretch of it, and somebody fucking gets me. Somebody shoots me, takes away my last hull point. I spin out, and I'm like, damn it, this guy's gonna pass me. And then I remembered like some rule where it's like you can use a point.
The crowd
Get the crowd point to switch gears. So I managed to res right as this guy was about to pass me, and I was about to miss my turn because they were in a upper gear phase beyond me, so I was going to be allowed to go. I used my last crowd point to switch up to the current gear phase, getting to go first, and smashed like the inch I needed through the finish line to win the first round.
How mad was that dude? He was a little
what are you gonna do? He's a little bummed, but I mean, like
that's like a cinematic moment.
That's a cinematic moment. Like I res like and just like powered through. I hit the Nas, flew through it, like exploded through the finish line to win the game. It turns out though, in the other game, somebody literally because when you blow up, you go forward like a medium straight or whatever. So you go forward maybe
about
like
6
4
inches or so.
something. Yeah. And this dude literally blew up, and then his car launched through the finish line, and he ended up coming in second place. So like both of us had games where like that finish came like so close, like neck to neck.
Right. That was that older guy who was definitely.
I think so.
Definitely,
wiggly fingers.
Wiggly. Yeah,
His wiggly fingers
very,
a term.
very suspect.
Oh yeah, definitely shaky
people
measuring.
playing.
But so I made it to the end round.
Very Mythbusters style guys play Gaslands.
Mythbusters guys who definitely play, and that guy who won. So in the final round, I played against a guy, Mythbusters guy, definitely very Mythbusters guy. Knew like he was like the guy who knew how to play fucking Gaslands, and so he had the rig. He had a normal car with tank treads on it, and he took a particular sponsor that let him like sort of maneuver when he did certain like measuring. He had all of these shenanigans to get around all of the little things that people put in his way. I was playing against a guy who had wiggly measurements. He would measure and then like, it would be like wiggle forward a little bit. And you'd be like, dude, come on. I mean, I'm not going to be like a jerk and be like, oh, dude, I just saw that move forward 2 millimeters, you're going to need to go back. But he kept doing it, and he came in second. He stole second place from
I
me.
legit. That's like a big pet peeve of mine.
I know, but like, how
People
am I?
who
I
measure
don't even
and
know
then they
this
just
dude.
give themselves another
Oh.
half or full
He like
inch.
put it down and then would move the template really quick, and I'd be like, dude, come on, you definitely
That's
gave
like a
yourself
solid,
little
like,
bit.
30 to 50% of tabletop gamers.
Well, and I know, and that's why I wasn't going to make like a big deal of it. Plus,
Casual
I was trying to
gaming
hype
is
people
different,
up.
though. Casual gaming with your friends is one thing. Playing in a tournament where like you paid money to be there.
Yeah.
You got to
Play
cheat
by
when
the
you're playing
goddamn
against your
rules.
friends.
Yeah. And to make this last round a little bit shorter, because it's like it wasn't honestly as exciting as that first round was. The last round, Mythbusters guy won. He like had all of the moves figured out. He could get around any obstacle that the two people running it could throw in his path. Wiggly Fingers made it into second place because literally by maybe an inch beat me. And people kept shooting me because he kept moving just a little bit further than me. And so people would be like, well, I guess I'll shoot you then. And so my car ended up like blowing up, and he ended up taking second place
that's
and
what
won
we
a
all-
medal too.
So you
But I came in third.
Third? Yeah, third.
Third
In the-
place.
the-
Should have been
the
second.
damn world
We all
championships.
Saw it. We were all there. We
Did
saw
they do
it.
trophies?
They did.
Yeah.
Did you get one?
No.
Why?
First and second. Wiggly Fingers went home with a freaking trophy,
Bullshit.
and I did not.
You know, Wiggly Fingers, if you're out there,
he's listening.
I'm
friend of the
coming.
pod.
I'm coming for you this year.
Yeah, honestly, he'll probably be there. And you know what? He was like a nice
kinda
enough
older.
guy, and like we would.
He might not be around anymore.
That's true.
That's what you get for taking second, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to
Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Wiggly
Wiggly
you
Fingers.
gotta have a dub before you
dude.
Go to heaven.
Now,
But it was fun.
did you
It was a ton of
discuss? I left the room for a second to sneeze. Did you mention that the guy who won Best Painted
No.
Yeah.
had the same car as you?
Yeah, he did have the same car. He had a super clean paint job, which, newsflash, this is fucking Mad Max. Like, dude, I shouldn't see, like, if your car looks clean, man, what is it doing on Earth
This ain't
in the
Tokyo Drift,
post-apocalypse?
dude. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on, bro. Like, so his was the cleanest, no doubt. If there was an actual Golden Demon Award for Gasland's cars,
Hot Wheels cars.
he would have won it because he had the Games Workshop heavy metal style to it. But, like, my shit was grimy.
Yeah.
And dude, engine freaking grime. It had stripes on it. The NOS was painted blue, but it was all grimed up too. Had the number I drew, like did a freehand lettering of the name
Yep.
and of the number, and then like outlined it in black, dude. It was so tight.
For the aesthetic
toot
alone,
my own horn,
no, for the aesthetic alone, you definitely should have won that.
I know,
The other
well,
guys
whatever.
was painted perfectly,
I
but
mean, yeah,
it
it
didn't
was
fit.
definitely
The other one
Golden
that stood out
Demon.
to me was the grandpa guy next to you.
I love that dude. Mudbug.
Mudbug, dude.
That
with
guy rocks.
He had the RC bombs
Yep.
build.
Little 3D printed RC bombs that would
Yeah.
like pop out of the back of the car. And he was playing that wrong, and somebody called him out, and he was so bummed. And I was like, can we just let this guy play it? Can we let come on,
What
look
was
at
he
how
doing
sad
wrong?
he
Look
is.
how sad he is.
Because he had a particular build that was like, I'm going to drop all of my remote mines at one time. But with the rules, you can only, like, if you have more than one reverse mounted weapon, so let's say you have mines and remote control cars, you can drop a mine and remote control car in the same turn with this power. It's not just like dump all your mines
Yeah,
at once or
yeah.
dump all your remote control cars at once. He was playing as I'm dumping all my remote control cars. And I thought it was really cool because then you're playing and this dude has these remote control cars zipping around you trying to hit you. It's like a blue shell or a red shell.
kinda
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's really dope, and I was like, dude, can we just still have this happen? This dude's in last place right now. Let's let him have the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
remote control car. Let's home
We'll
rule
change
this
it next game because
motherfucker.
you've
Yeah,
been playing it this
Yeah,
way.
come on. And then, but you probably had wiggly fingers, and he was like, he's breaking the rules.
You had
As
another.
he's
Don't
fudging
let
3
them
inches
break
up to
the
pass
rules.
you.
Yeah, as he's just like flicking his car forward. You know, like,
Wait, were you back there? No.
No. Picking it up to look at the bottom and be like, yeah, that's definitely that's a Jeep Cherokee, and moving it forward an inch. And I'd be like, dude, what are you doing, bro? Fucking wiggly ass fingers. Now I'm getting fucking pissed.
Listen, don't
It
get me
wasn't
started
bad
on
before,
cheaters at Adepticon.
but now I'm gonna be looking for wiggly fingers. Now I think I might have to play in Gaslands this year because I hope he's coming.
What day is it on?
Saturday. It's the same day
Aw,
as the,
fuck me.
which is why I'm like I probably can't. But
You can go.
well, no, but I want to play Mordheim, bro. Like Mordheim's sick,
Yeah, we'll be
and I
able
want to
to
help
play
you
Mordheim
out.
all weekend.
Yeah.
Hang
got
with the
the room
boys.
for the whole weekend.
Anyways, I hijacked a lot of that from that Tales, but I just love that Gasland story. I
good
wanted
one.
to tell it really quick. I stole those Tales from the crypt.
You
stole
sneezing
a Tale?
again?
Run to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Don't leave the lid up. Phil, you got your gaming story though. I want to hear this.
My tales. Well, I'm gonna leapfrog totally over this topic into the next one because it's kind of related.
Okay, sweet. That'll
So,
be perfect. Questions from the hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that was suggested was, how did you get into the hobby?
Oh yeah.
I think this is a perfectly acceptable thing for this
Absolutely.
Tales from the Crypt and segues into our next section. And so for me, when I was a lad, in the weekends in the summertime, my mother would always, you got two real energetic children trying to entertain them. She would always take us to this big pet store in the area. It was called the Puppy Center. And I was always an animal head, still am, and so she would bring me there. We would go, we'd look at all the aquarium animals, and then play with a dog as if we were gonna fucking buy it.
Classic.
And next to the Puppy Center was a store called the Dragon's Lair.
Yes.
Which I think there's another store called the Dragon's Lair.
Yep.
Completely different. And I would bet that
Wallingford.
a measurable percentage of FLGSs in America are called the Dragon's Lair.
Absolutely.
The
Or
dungeon
something like that.
Yeah.
And so anyways, it was always something that I was, pestering my mother, let's go in there. And I'm sure she was like, fuck no, you're going to make me buy you something. And I didn't know what it was. It just said games on the outside. So I think we were under the assumption that it was a place where you could just buy NES games, used NES. And they actually did sell used video games. But eventually, she kind of, capitulated and brought us in. And at the time, I was probably somewhere between 8 and 10 years old, I would guess. And so we walk in, and the very first thing I see, which to me looks like a pool table, but it's got a fucking diorama with a castle,
dude, that'd
and
be
you got
so
a
exciting.
lineup of orcs facing down with some dwarves.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, oh, let's fucking go.
Yeah. How could you not get hooked?
Yeah. No, I was immediately like, this is sick. I want to do whatever this is.
Yeah.
And I don't think I bought anything that day, but I definitely spent a lot of time in there just flipping through the codexes specifically, going through the art and sort of reading snippets of lore. And
What year was this?
I don't know if I was between 8 and 10, it would have been
1973.
Yeah, 1970. No, but somewhere between probably 95 and 98, I would guess.
So the golden era of
The golden era.
Yeah, seriously.
And obviously I was very young, so I didn't have money of my own, and my parents really didn't want to amuse me and buy all this crap. And certainly not something that I was capable of learning how to play. But there was other tabletop stores that kind of popped up in the area. War and Peace was another favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, War and Pieces.
War and Pieces.
Oh,
Pieces,
cool.
yeah.
Now
And
we're
in
talking.
addition, the aforementioned West Farms Mall, which I grew up about a half mile away from, had a Games Workshop store, and so did the Buckland Hills Mall.
Which I
Probably
grew a
about-
half mile away from.
Yeah, but
Wow.
also had a Games Workshop store. So the hobby was always something that was very visible to me. At that age, it wasn't something that had to be really introduced to me. It was front and center. And so growing up, like I said, it wasn't. I would typically, at best, I would be able to get a couple blister packs and then a codex to go with them. So I never had a whole army to play with, but I had a smattering of stuff from all sorts of different factions. I had all sorts of, and I know you guys have probably seen all my old codexes that I have, and then as a kid, all the black and white art, I would take colored pencils and color it
Oh,
in.
dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've seen
That's
those
very
too.
sick.
Yeah,
Now,
And,
did you have Realm of Chaos? You had the book? You still
I do. Oh, it's falling apart. But yeah,
Hey,
I have
man.
I have Realm of Chaos.
Phew, dude, keep it.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
have
That's
I have the old the Chaos Dwarf. Because Chaos Dwarf's rules originally, I think they all came out in White Dwarf, and then they kind of compiled them together into like an actual codex. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I like I said, I dabbled in a lot of different armies, and it wasn't really until I was like, I want to say in like junior high, that I had the opportunity to actually play a little bit. And then later in high school, when I actually started to, have to, have a sizable enough collection and, mess around a little bit with painting. And, a lot of my stuff kind of just disappeared over the years, but I always had more Beastmen than anything else. And so a lot, a chunk of my collection now is still some of the stuff that I've had for, over 25 years.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's the long and short of it. I didn't really have a community or group to play with up until the last couple of years. Me and Steve would play a bit a few years ago, like 6th, 7th edition. And, I mean, that was kind of short-lived. At the time, Steve lived about an hour away. So, either he would come down and we would play at the Games Workshop that was probably like a half mile down the road from my parents' house. Or, go up to the shop, Wild Bill's up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Bill's.
I mean,
very,
that was
very
my...
wild place, Wild Bill's.
Yeah,
rest in peace. And, I mean, that kind of just a few years later brings us to today, where we're all, mad for minis.
Yeah, Steve, so Phil was just talking about the how'd you got intro to the hobby, but
yeah.
I wonder if we should save that for, like, it could be the tales. I mean, Phil, you'll have to think of something that's not the intro.
Yeah.
But maybe next time those will be our tales from the Tales from the Crypt will be what got us into the hobby. And then Phil spoiled his, but he'll come up with something, I'm sure,
I couldn't
cool
think of
for
anything
next
else
time.
for Tales
We'll do a
from the
retelling
Crypt.
of it. You can go more thoroughly.
Because I'm like, shit, I'm
did. You were out of the room for like 10 minutes.
No,
so.
he went in.
I had
Yeah.
to- I had to do the
I told my
business.
life story.
Hey, listen, man.
But that's
we all
like my
became
favorite.
closer. as
I know.
friends.
I could listen
You'll
to
have to
people's
listen to
game.
the episode then.
I do anyway. I could
okay, you can
listen
let
to
him,
people
as long as he's
talk
not-
about old game stores, their hobbies, like how they got into it. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean,
buddy.
I feel like that would be a good thing to like go into on the next step, and then to
Absolutely.
just like use that as our. Sorry, my cat is causing chaos, and it's called about Chaos Dwarf. Man, this guy is
son of Hashut.
Feldspar the Destroyer,
he's
whatever.
a chaotic little guy.
he's tearing it up. Yeah, because I think that would be an awesome Tales of the Crypt, and I don't want to tell 2 tales because I'll run out of tales if we do too many in one. And we have a ton of questions from the Hive. People have like reached out on Instagram or on the In Rust We Trust Discord, all of these places, and there are like so many good questions that like, well, I mean, we won't be able to answer them all. And some people asked great questions last time for our episode 2, and we were just never able to get to those questions. So we just have this running list of show questions that are really good, and we'll get to them as we go through them. Keep sending them. Anytime that something pops in your head, we'll go through it. Because some of this stuff we are planning on talking about anyways, and it's nice to have somebody, like we know people are interested in whatever the question is. Were there ones that you wanted to start with? Steve, you and Gage were kind of going into.
We kind of listed them in relevance of like
okay,
how
so
much we could have to talk about, or
yeah.
what we
So
thought
yeah,
people
we should
wanna
save
hear.
that first one. What got
the
you
first
into the
one-
hobby would be great for tales for next step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, check out the Patreon. Nah. First tier is sub. You can hear all the hobby questions.
Now, oh yeah, we'll figure that whole part of
Yeah,
this
listen,
pod
you
out.
can't do that until you have something to
Oh, I
offer
know.
people for their money.
Dude,
You don't even
listen.
want to listen to this.
We'll
I'll
offer
send you nudes.
kisses for $1 a month. You get a kiss every month.
I kiss the napkin with
Oh,
lipstick and then I
dude,
send it to you.
honestly, they'd probably do that. You got some good lips there, Steve.
So do we want to do that? I feel like I don't know enough about that.
I was going to say, if
subject.
anybody's going to know a lot about that
You got any
mystery
thoughts on
thing
that,
that we're not
Steve,
going to
or
tell you,
Gage?
it's going to be Gage who knows the most about that.
Thoughts on the OGL?
The OGL, yes, we're getting into it.
The OGL
So
debacle.
the real question that was sent to us was, what are your thoughts on the OGL open game license and how Wizards and Hasbro has been treating D&D in the Magic community? And do you think that these changes will affect Games Workshop?
Which is a good question. And did you
I will
close
say-
the toilet lid?
That's from our
Yes.
friend,
What a
friend of
guy.
the pod, Mruck.
Mruck. Dude,
Shout
that's a
out
great
Mruck.
question.
Yeah.
I'm glad Mruck
I
listens to this. He's
really
such a
don't
good
know
dude.
anything about the topic, but I will say if it's broadly speaking I think that intellectual property will continue to be something that is very I don't want to say abused, but something that the noose is really going to tighten a lot
Yeah,
on
100%.
it in the next coming. I got a lot of thoughts about IP and you know the sort of general media landscape.
I do. I mean, we've already seen it in Age of Sigmar and 40K with the name changes. Just
Yeah,
that
yeah.
alone.
What do you mean? Just like that?
I mean, changing an
Used to
orc
just be
to an
space.
aura,
Yeah,
or
Oh,
a
so they can, like-
ogre to an ogre, yeah.
Astartes.
But
at the
that,
end of
that
the
in and of
day-
itself is pretty harmless.
Yeah, right.
But
I mean,
so
doesn't-
why don't you kind of explain what happened for people who don't know?
So okay,
if you don't know,
If you don't
you don't know.
what happened was Wizards of the Coast for 1D&D, essentially 6th edition, a document was leaked about their changes to the open game license that was started in 3rd edition, 3.5.
3.5
Arguably the
is
greatest.
probably what, late 90s, early 2000s, or
Yeah, I want to say 98-ish.
okay.
So
And now, quickly, what is the open game license?
the open game license lets you, as a consumer, or even not a consumer, use their mechanics, use the entire mechanic of the system to write your own content, play whatever you want,
And
create
sell
whatever
it?
you want, and sell it.
Yep. So it allows third parties to publish
Now-
their own content
Matt
using.
Mercer is the biggest.
yeah, I mean, totally.
Yes,
Critical
literally,
Role is
Critical Role.
this.
Now, real quick, they did get in a little hot water with that back in the day. I don't know if anyone knows some of the products that came out back then, but they were a little spicy. There were rules for how you can make your PCs kiss and a lot more.
That's good.
In some
I
of
like
some
that.
of the
That's
books.
the only real role
You need
playing game
rules
I'll
for
play
that?
here.
Oh, they got so specific, Phil, to the point where if you would trace bloodlines of your PCs, there were STD rules, there were orgasm rules.
You know
there
what?
were
Well, that's
Where I
just
come
extra.
from, there's
X
no
card, baby.
rules.
Yeah,
No
X
rules
card,
where I come
yes.
from.
For sure, we'll just skip right over that.
Yeah, the hot coffee mod. Grand Theft Auto 7.
Yes, absolutely. So here we are, a leak of this proposed document. Very clearly the document it's by the suits of Hasbro. It is not by people
Any of
that
the
love.
creatives,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is not by the people
Danny
that love
D&D.
the game.
Which
Yeah,
oftentimes,
Mr. Dunjo and Mr. Drago is writing this. The leak shows that they were going to try and stop anyone from using critical parts of their license. So you couldn't they had every right to stop you from pursuing this. They also brought in a financial aspect. If you made over X amount of dollars, they could come for you for royalties.
Yeah.
Now, all this was internal documents. It was very clearly almost like an email from
Yeah.
one associate to another. It was never like, this is what we're doing. People,
you don't think it was an intentional leak?
I don't think so. I can't tinfoil hat too far with that. We'll get to what I definitely go down that line with the newer releases.
Yeah.
But the initial leak, I think, was just someone going, holy shit, the world needs to know. This is
Whistleblow.
fucked. Yeah, whistleblow this situation. So that leak blew the fuck up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Twitter does what Twitter does best and is lose
Hyperbole.
Yeah.
lose sight of what is really the problem. People were saying Wizards was going to trademark the D20.
Oh,
No one was
God,
going to be
could
able to
you
use the
imagine
D20. The term dice was going to be a Wizards property.
That's so funny.
Hasbro was going to own the word dungeon.
Yeah, I
Dude,
think
that's-
that's
I
all
wouldn't
pretty
put that-
alarmist.
I wouldn't put that too far out of their realm.
I don't
of
know.
wants,
I
of
would.
like their desires.
That seemed a little insane to me.
Yeah, that's
So-
like a real yellow five makes your penis small kind of rumor. You know what I mean? Like that's just like crazy
Absolutely.
things
Yeah.
kids would say.
Marilyn Manson can suck his own dick.
Yeah, he got his ribs removed so he could suck his
Yeah.
own cock. Yeah.
Dice are gonna be banned.
Listen,
No, you have to pay royalties.
you
if
can
you're
suck
gonna use
your own
dice.
dick with all of your ribs. You can keep your ribs.
Well, thank you, Phil. There's your Phil fact,
There's your
everyone.
Phil fact of the day.
You were waiting for a Phil fact, and now you have it.
So anyway, so the insanity that pursued on Twitter after that was just ridiculous. People were losing their fucking minds over it, and it got so far from the fact that everyone was just going off of hearsay, and no one even saw the original document because it was taken down immediately.
Yeah.
So Paizo announces their own OGL. Everyone announces this. Everyone says fuck D&D. We're kill them. We're gonna
Yeah.
witch hunt.
Get your pitchforks.
It became
people.
insane. It was ridiculous. However, after that came out, Wizards took too long to respond. So then everyone it brought up 10 more things that Wizards is now plotting. They're scared. They're this. They're that.
You're sacrificing.
Yeah,
people.
it got so insane.
That's amazing.
They then purposely put out an OGL statement saying, "Hey, you guys saw a leak, by the way, but we were never going to do anything that you're saying.
Yeah.
All we're putting in place is so that games like Mifrog or like Varg's RPG, shit like that can't exist off of their property anymore.
Yeah.
You can't-
You know.
That's fair.
You can't come up with racist rules in
Yeah.
our mechanic.
Hey, that's actually yeah, totally.
You
That
can't
makes sense.
use. I mean, they've always had it in place where you can't use things that are iconic to D&D anyway. You can't use a beholder.
Totally right. Yeah.
You cannot use a mind flare.
Yep.
That's always existed.
Yeah, that's why Pathfinder just doesn't have rules for
Yeah.
so many iconic
Exactly.
creatures.
Pathfinder rocks.
So,
I'm a big proponent of Paizo, so
Yeah.
so the pitchforks kind of went down a little bit, but then Twitter did what it does best again and just fucking lose their mind. Well, the way they worded it made it so they can still come after you for this and that. But
And that's the hard part. Is it's just like
if you're making $1 million off of their product,
yeah.
fuck you.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a WotC bootlicker at this point, but
You are.
I mean I am. Anyone that sees my library at home knows I am. But I feel like they have every right to be like, listen, everything that you're gaining off us, we're gonna kind of hit you for some royalties. Like,
Yeah. And I mean, nothing really stops you from just doing whatever the hell you want. Anyway.
I mean, that's the beauty of it too. It never stops. And people were saying if you ever homebrewed anything, Wizards can come after you. It's
I
like
mean,
Wizards isn't gonna kick your fucking door down because
No,
you
dude.
changed a stat block of a dragon.
Also, how would they know?
Well,
Like-
exactly. Oh, I sent Steve a zine that I made of a guy, a merchant.
Totally.
I
And
made $40 off
Steve
it.
made
selling.
$40 off it. WotC's gonna come to fucking Westfield with a gun to his head,
Well, guess
saying,
what?
Yeah, Steve has never made $40 from selling zines.
Oh my god. No, but like to tie this back to Games Workshop, I can't just be like, I mean, like you go on these My Mini Factory or whatever,
Yep.
and it's always just like, you know, they change the name of the. It's
Yes.
like it's just like, you know, people are going to be doing this no matter
It's a
what.
scare
Exactly.
tactic to make
Uh,
you not.
yeah.
"Yeah,
And at the end of the day, this is only going to be bad for Hasbro and Wizards. It's only going to be bad for them because it's like people are still going to be making their own shit. People are still going to be selling their own shit.
they did." For the record, though, bless you, Steve.
Steve's allergic to cats.
The OGL 1.3 or whatever they're on now
Yeah, they changed it up.
is perfect. It's been what it should have been the whole time. Bless you,
Steve,
Steve.
bring some tissues in, bro. Just bring them with you.
So
But that's good. I mean, like,
Right.
Motherfucker, you take a Zyrtec.
and you know, the more I think about this, the more I'm thinking about, you know, Hasbro coming in and being like, you can't use D&D for anything. It's like, who the fuck, dude? There's thousands of indie RPGs.
Yes.
We were talking about it today.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of these indie games that you are just going to give them more of a spotlight.
Yep.
You're gonna 100
Absolutely.
And then a lot of people who don't realize that there's something more than Dungeons and Dragons might be like, "Oh, cool, Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was
what's this
a-
Vampire the
a
Masquerade?
Vampire
Yeah.
the Masquerade, Hard City." You know what I mean? How many freaking RPGs are there out there?
Right,
And it's like,
right.
by cutting people out, you know, the only hope is like they're not pulling off the Band-Aid too soon, and then like people are like, well, I guess I can't play the only RPG that exists because D&D. But even then, it's like, dude, I don't know.
Make
like
your own.
it's free to freaking play D&D, dude.
Yeah,
It's still
literally,
free.
It's still free.
It's still going to cost you money for the player's handbook if you really want it, but otherwise, there's going to be somebody putting the PDF online, just like there is for every little thing that you can have.
Yep.
So it's totally fine.
I mean, yeah, like you said, tying it back to the Games Workshop. It's not like if you ever
Oh
kit
my
bashed a
God.
mini,
It's the cats.
is Games Workshop gonna bust down your door?
You hear that one, Steve?
No, but do you want an allergy pill?
If you have some.
Yeah, I'll grab one. Keep talking about the OGL Gage and how much you
Yeah.
love
I love WotC.
paying royalties towards Hasbro.
Gage
No.
actually pays WotC to talk about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
he's a shill.
Please let me talk about
You pay them?
Mm-hmm. No, but
Please
Games.
let me talk about your content.
Yeah, I don't think this in and of itself would affect Games Workshop, but like I said, you know, I know Games Workshop isn't an American company, but you know, there's two things that we export in America, and that's like, I don't know, weapons and like
Role-playing games.
yeah, IP entertainment stuff. And so, if people are going to make more money on it, they're going to keep tightening the noose on intellectual property. And I think Games Workshop is no different. It really, comes down to the majority shareholders. What the fuck do they want?
Absolutely.
And we'll be here to break the rules every step of the way.
Every time, yeah.
Every step of the way, I'm going to be making my own models.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing my own games.
Well, I don't remember who said it. It was about not Magic. It was about Wizards and D&D and how there's no money in it, so they want to move it to an online platform, and like that's the direction it was looking to be going. Do you think there's any merit in that, so they can control it?
No, they're saying now 1D&D is there's going to be no more editions after 1. It's going to be 6th edition forever.
So they have to make the most
Like
perfect edition.
like fucking Photoshop or whatever. Where
Literally.
it's sort of like a living document,
but
as they
it's still
say.
almost entirely 5th edition D&D, just with certain modifications.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it goes proprietary like that, sure. But what's going to stop anyone, like we were just saying, from still playing it outside of that platform?
Yeah, playing just 5th
I mean,
edition, 3.5,
It-
whatever.
If you play 5th edition right now, I can tell you for 100% sure, and it's literally in the book, if you play 5th edition now, you've changed the rule at some point.
100%.
Or just not done a rule.
And that exactly. And because you use your own homebrew initiative, that doesn't mean that you've changed everything and Wizards is going to come after you now. No, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
never fucking mattered.
No, totally. And like you said, there were always things like Beholders that like you couldn't play with. There was always little things
Literally.
that were just like you
And
couldn't
shit
play
like that makes it iconic for them from a sales perspective. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
they can throw the Beholder on their monster
with.
manual.
They can make a little stuffed Beholder and sell it.
yeah,
Like a plushie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little plushie.
Nice.
Dude, I want to talk. There is a question from the Hive on here that you hid from Phil before.
You hid from me.
Yeah, you hid it from Phil. What was it? It was the one about why are so many punk and hardcore kids?
Why
so
did you hide that from
It's
me?
right here.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you're probably going to talk about it right now. We hadn't started recording.
Oh.
Yes, I also hid it from you because it's related to a question from the homie Evan.
Oh yeah.
What is your
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
genre while hobbying?
All right. Let's
I
break
feel
that
like,
down.
I feel like Terry and I could have a whole podcast alone on this, but
We would have a whole podcast on new age ambient music. though.
let's go.
Honestly, like weirdo experimental ambient music. But
Phil, what is your favorite genre
Phil,
while hobbying?
what do you listen to?
Lately, just Sasquatch Tracks. It's a podcast about Sasquatch.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Do you
Now-
listen to any music though at your hobby?
No, never.
No.
I was gonna say I feel like you're either an in silence guy,
No,
or
I
you
don't-
need to have information.
No, I'm way too much of a neurotic guy to sit in silence with my own thoughts.
Yeah.
I always need something going. But yeah, typically, music does not allow me to focus. I need something
Yeah.
to occupy my mind while my hands are occupied.
Yeah. What you been
So typically, podcast or an audiobook.
what you been listening to recently, music wise, anyways? Like just in general, any new stuff you've been listening to?
Music wise, no, I keep getting a lot of honestly, just dungeon synth suggested
Yeah.
to me in YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of any of the bands. I know there's one that the album art was sick. It was like a little frog wizard guy.
Ulk,
Oh yeah, you know.
ULK, Ulk.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
I
really
sent it
good.
to you a while ago because I had a little frog wizard on it. I was
Yeah.
like, Phil's gonna love this shit.
Yeah, and it's
he
good.
just came out with a new album.
Love a frog wizard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You going to Dungeon Synth Fest in Worcester?
Is that in April?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
down
we
to
should
go. He never got back to me, but he did put a post saying that they cut gaming from the last day entirely
Wait. Oh.
because
But
we
they're
were
still
we
gonna
were
have
trying to
it.
run an event there.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
But
But he can't just let you. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not
I don't know.
gonna
It's at the
complain
Raven,
about it on
right?
here.
yeah,
There's really not room at the Raven.
Yeah.
they're still doing OSR day Saturday, I
I
think.
mean, that's cool.
The tickets are fucking expensive for that.
much?
Really? Dude,
Yeah.
I should have gone to the first one. I missed the first one, and
think
then they
it's-
had COVID the second year, and I was like, oh, I should
I
have
think
gone
it's
last
$80 for the weekend.
Yeah, I'll stay home. We'll have our own at the fucking
Yeah,
Legion.
I think it might be like a
Yeah.
30-day pass.
We could just book one. We should book
Do you
one.
want to book it the same weekend?
Well, what we can do is we can have the people who play the fest just come and play an after show
Oh,
and like
that's
book
good
a little show.
We could do that.
I feel like all those freaks are gonna be hanging with each other.
Yeah, have them all come. Be like, this is actually there's no.
Yo,
point
after
here.
show,
Yeah, come through.
40 minutes west.
Yeah.
All those dudes are from like other countries? How are they gonna go?
What is it? This after party. We
No,
are at the
How
party.
the fuck are they gonna get there?
We do not know what you mean after party.
They rent cars.
Why are they all Dracula?
Because they're fucking dungeon synth guys. They're all
We could
Dracula.
do, we could have it at Dracula because it is all at
Yeah.
hours.
Speaking
there.
of Dracula,
Yeah,
the
speaking of
venue Dracula. We
All
could
right,
You tell them it's at a venue called Dracula.
Oh, we love
Yeah,
this.
the-
This is
We
the
love
greatest. We love this. This is our venue.
Nah, sure.
So Phil's been listening to Dracula
DS.
themed
Yeah.
little DS.
What you
action.
been? What do you listen to while you paint, Steve? Do you listen to
I
mostly
have a very
podcasts, or-
specific playlist that I listen to. If it's not like I have a dungeon synth like playlist that has that Horacy album. You know what I'm talking about? I can pull it
Horacy
up. I
album.
can pull it up.
You just listen
Like
to your...
Horus Heresy?
No, it's a very very specific. See, you put me on the spot. Now I gotta find it. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to find
Well,
it.
while you're
now.
looking
I'm
for it, Gage, what do you listen to while
What
you
do I
while you
listen
hobby?
to? Lately, it's been a dad mosh kind of playlist I put together.
Nice.
It's very sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give us the rundown. What are some the top tracks?
So,
of the
so
Dad Mosh?
Gore was always one of those bands that I was like, this band is so cheesy, I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Now you get it.
when you're stuck in traffic for fucking 6 hours a day like I am, I was like, I'll give them another try. And I start going through and I start what I used to do with playlists is I would just grab a whole album and throw it in the playlist. And then 3 songs deep, if the playlist isn't on shuffle, I'm like, I'm already sick of this fucking band. I never want to hear it again. But since I'm adding like the highlights now, I'm curating these
Highlight reel.
playlists. Yeah, it's becoming a lot better. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, Dad Mosh playlist is starting with that, some Municipal Waste. Just really,
Municipal Waste. Nice.
Yeah, typically the way pretty much the only way I listen to music is I have one single Spotify playlist that I just add songs that I like to, and I don't know the exact number, but there are thousands of songs on it, and I just put it on shuffle.
so you're not a genre specific kind of guy?
No, not at all.
Okay. See, I have to.
Well, I mean, if something comes on, if I'm not in the mood to listen to,
just
something
press
heavy,
skip.
I'll
Yeah.
just skip.
Yeah, that and then I have secret aspirations this year of playing a hardstyle show. I'm gonna
Yeah.
DJ a show. Yeah, so
We got
boy.
it. I mean, totally. We'll
I'm-
make this happen.
we'll definitely have it happen. But so I've been on a pretty big hard gabber kick lately as well.
You could just DJ at the rave at in the Holyoke spot. They have a rave in the basement.
Oh yeah. Plus, we could always turn
Wasn't
the
there a rave
after
happening the
party.
same time?
Dude,
Yeah, that's
some
what
of
I
these
thought.
DS heads they definitely have techno side projects. Why don't we just
Absolutely.
have a after hours, after the dungeon siege,
Just like
we
a
have
real
them
mixer
do
of,
their electronic music, like their techno stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Dude, it'd be awesome, and just dance up in Dracula. Oh, just real gothed up.
Real goth up.
Oh, we got
All goth circles unite.
Steve, did you find what you've been
Oh,
listening
I
to?
did. I did.
What a guy.
The main guy is Lustmord, obviously.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I know
That's-
you're a big Lustmord head.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean-
there's
yeah, I know
I have a whole
Lustmord.
playlist that's just like all that shit, and then my favorite one to listen to be like actually productive is I titled it 2742 AD Future Tech Wave, and it's just all like the most insane techno. It just helps me like turn my brain off.
2742. Is that an arbitrary date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just made it up. It's actually from when was it Evan that was talking about like music for like
He wanted music that mech pilots would listen to while in BattleTech War.
that's what inspired me to make the playlist was that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I've also been listening to that Tokyo Pros Glossmer album a lot.
Okay.
It's like very, very nice to listen to.
I don't know that.
It's really good.
That is good.
Yeah.
And also, if it's not going to pick up the cats digging at this door right now, so don't even worry about it.
Oh, okay. Sick.
It's like these are only going to pick up what's like right in front of your
Perfect.
mouth, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Dude, if the people hear my cats digging at the door, that's just a little ambience. It's
There
like
you
a
go.
crackling fire, but it's just going to be on you guys to ignore it. So I've been listening to. I listen to like only ambient music when I paint, and
Now, is that for focus reasons?
Kind of.
I know you're an ambient guy anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of.
yeah, I mean, I just kind of like weird texture ambient stuff. So it's like that's usually what I'll have. But I paint a lot in the morning, and I also paint a lot like late at night, and so I like to just have something that's sort of floating through here. I like never am rushing when I paint, so it's like I don't want something that's gonna like make me crush through. Because I listen to a lot of like everything outside of that, but I've been listening to a lot of Stars of the Lid, and I've been listening to a lot of Brian Eno, which is kind of basic ambient stuff. But that album Apollo has just been kind of on repeat.
It's only
and I
basic
keep
because
playing
it's
well, he's the best.
yeah.
I mean, he is the best. So I've been listening to that one album, Apollo, because it just keeps it's recently played on Spotify, and so in the morning I'll just put that on again. And so
Just easy.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a great album. It's really cool. I mean, I think it's one of his better ones besides his like ambient series, which I think are really good too. So that's been
The last 2 days we were talking about actually at the antique store earlier. Dan Gibson's Solitudes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been jamming that a little bit.
Yeah, the Solitude series is amazing, and the Environment series, which I have behind me, and I've been like slowly picking those up. Those are just like field recordings, nature field recordings. Those are like a great series.
Now,
I don't know if this will be relevant to anybody's interest.
No. Do you as a cassette head as well, a collector of all physical media,
Mm-hmm.
with albums that are on cassette and Spotify?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel guilt putting the Spotify version on instead?
No, I
Okay.
listen to mostly Spotify now ever since getting that Spotify account, which is
Yeah.
good and bad. I mean, I have the tape deck is over there. The record player is right there. They all get pumped through the same system. But honestly, it's just in the morning when I come in here and it's 5 a.m. and I want to paint for an hour, I will just like turn on the receiver, turn on Spotify, hit that Stars of the Lid album or hit that Brian Eno album, and it'll just play softly in the background. And that's like most of my music content. Plus, like, I mean, how easy it is on Spotify to be like, oh, okay, this is a related thing. I've been listening to a lot of dark wave, like on the way to school. So I've been listening to this person, Pastel Ghost, and it's just like this. It was something that was just recommended to me.
Yeah.
Is it the new album or newer album?
I think so. I don't know.
have it
It's
in
just
my
like
dark wave list,
I
that's
just
why.
sort of been like popping it on there, and it's great. And like that's where I feel like Spotify really shines. It's like you can move from one artist to the next and find these like little
absolutely.
freaks. And this is something I was talking to Sarah about like, do high schoolers listen to more obscure music now than they ever did? And she says no. She's like, do they still just like listen to Harry Styles, and I'll go see Harry Styles in concert?
Yeah.
Because I was like, Spotify has to be recommending these kids, like, check out these weirdo people. Like, you listen to this person, you listen to, I don't know, like Doja Cat or something like that. Like, here is something slightly more obscure.
I feel like the average high schooler
Skips that.
skips that.
Yeah, I
entirely.
think so,
I feel like they're not spending their time like we are going, oh, maybe I want to check out what's related to this. They go, what's popular? What's on TikTok?
Yes.
That's what I'm slamming through right now.
And I think they still listen to, like, the one song by... And then that's why you go on Spotify and it's like, why does this song have 12 bajillion views or listens and this song has 63,000? Like, but it's by the same artist.
The
And it's
same
like,
artist,
oh, because everybody clicks the TikTok
The
song.
TikTok song, yeah.
or whatever it is. But,
So, going into Nico's question about what you
Yeah.
were saying earlier, why does it seem like punk and hardcore kids are so attracted to the hobby? Is it the DIY aspect?
I think it's an easy answer.
You got a guy with a gun blowing someone's head off on the cover, like
yeah, they're going to
that
love...
was what wrote me in when I was young. Like the Necromunda book with the guy with 2 machine guns aimed at you. Like
Well, to me, I think it's, punk subculture is always, very adjacent to the arts, and so is hobbying. And I think that's really all there is to it. Just a lot of parallel, subculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the DIY...
And obviously the DIY aspect is very,
huge.
very big.
Well, yeah, because especially there's so many people that take to it that are clout chasing. Oh, okay, that's the wrong term for it.
Wow.
The-
Putting them
they're-
on blast.
There are people that are into it for the social media aspect of it. They're not necessarily there for followers, but they're there for the communal aspect of it. And if those people are
People want validation.
are of the same ilk, cut from the
Ilk.
same
It's cut from the same Ulk.
cut from the same Swamp Thing Ulk album.
I actually have a little tidbit about this. Just it made me think of a story someone told me. So the guys from Dungeon Punks, Nate and Mark, they're older. They're in their 40s, I believe.
Ancient.
Sorry, I'm really sorry, guys, for throwing you out like that.
Wow.
But they were telling the story on their podcast about how they all like this stuff, like Rogue Trader, Warhammer. Is it 2000 AD? the comic series.
Yep.
Yeah.
They all love that shit. And then they were friends for a long time in bands, like playing music in hardcore. And then one night when they were driving home from a show, someone mentioned something about like Warhammer or whatever, and then they all were like, "You know what that is?"
Wait, they didn't even know that everybody was into
Yeah.
it? Holy
and
shit.
it sent them down this hole, and like they all started doing that in
Yeah.
adjacent to hardcore as well.
Yeah,
And-
I think I knew Steve via the local scene.
I was going to ask you
before.
that earlier when
Well,
you were
yeah.
talking about your story. Is that how you guys kind of met? Because of shows or because of Warhammer?
I mean, through other people, but just adjacent.
because I know you've
yeah.
played with I'm not going to dox anyone, but certain bands that will explicitly tell you not to tell anyone they play Warhammer, or
Oh yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
they're
yeah.
embarrassed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
they're too tough.
Yeah.
It'll ruin their band imagery.
Yeah, I don't want to
Their
get
muscles will get
yeah, I don't want to
smaller.
get beaten up with a
Oh, my muscles.
Well, we met,
8-ball and a sock.
we officially met because of I think Kyle.
Yeah.
And Drew from
Well, yeah,
Magic.
yeah. They were
Tabletop
the
Shop.
Yeah.
magic heads.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I-
that
So I'm
Magic
not
also pulls
not a big
people
card
in.
Yes.
game guy.
100% because of what you're saying, the imagery.
100%.
yeah.
If you're gonna play card games and you have Pokemon in comparison to the fucking art of Dark Ritual, you're definitely going to that instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, totally. Like, I think that, I mean, the DIY part of it, though, makes such a big difference. Just being able to, like, play a game where you're able to make up the rules.
Go to a friend's house and just play on the kitchen table, you know? You don't need...
Especially now, like, the new kind of resurgence of people getting into it. And it's like, yeah, you go to this in Rust We Trust Discord, and it's like, all these people are freaks. All these people kind of listen to the same sort of music. They're all doing weird stuff. And it's like, they were all attracted to the idea that it's like they can play a game that uses minis that they get control over painting. Like, it's ultimate control, and like that's what you want. Like, I feel like so many punk and hardcore kids, that's what they want. They
Yeah.
want control over their world.
Yeah, too, and especially our sort of corner of the hobby is hyper focused on making your own
Yeah.
homebrew,
Yes.
trying to make your own games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all sort of the same headspace.
Yeah. I think that a lot of that comes down to that idea that it's just like you can make things so personal in this hobby, but also in like, and that probably comes through originally with like people being in bands. It's like, wow, okay, so you're telling me I can pick up a guitar when I'm a young kid and
Don't know how to play it.
don't know how to play it,
Just do it.
just
Yeah.
doing it. Like, that's the thing. It's
You
like
can
they're
copy
just
this
going
breakdown,
and doing
and I'll
it.
be in a successful band.
Yeah, and it's like then you could just have fun with your friends in a
Yeah.
garage or in a basement or doing whatever, playing riffs through a fucking shitty little amp or something.
It's so funny because I know that's always sort of
Great,
like
yeah.
the outsider perspective on punk is always like, I mean, it sounds like shit, and you're all bad at playing your instruments, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. It's not really about the music.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about the community.
Yeah,
It's about
yeah.
the community, and then that ties into it too. It's like now that this is kind of like snowballing because there's more and more people that are like, oh, this is a really interesting thing. I really want to, I want to do this. It's like now there's a community. These people who are in hardcore and punk, they're already used to a community. They want a community. This is just jumping one community to
Yes,
the next.
absolutely.
Being part of one scene and then being part of another scene and then pulling friends from one scene into this scene.
What? And that it's funny you say that too, because a lot of the dudes that'll join the Discord are just like, it's so cool that you guys are all so nice. And I'm like, who the hell is gonna come into the Discord and you post your bit bashed fucking
Oh, I know,
benefit
right?
This
garbage-
sucks.
Learn how to bash garbage together.
Get better dirt, you idiot.
Yeah, where's this dirt from?
It's not from the floor.
Not from the floor. It looks like you bought this dirt from Michael's.
Michael's dirt is nice.
It's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, this is not Reddit.
All right, so we got to get to the most important question here.
Oh, dude. Honestly,
Fuck, marry, kill.
and
On each other?
What time are we on up there for?
2:24.
So this might be a good ender question.
Oh,
come
perfect.
on.
End
All
it here.
Yeah, this might
Because-
be a good ender question because we got some heavy questions
Yeah, we have
coming
some
later,
big
and
boy
I want to
questions.
like
We didn't
dig
even talk about the
into
Path to
them.
Glory campaign.
Dude,
That's
no.
got to be a whole episode.
Yeah.
Like there
No,
are so
we-
many things
it
that
got
we have
brought
to
up constantly.
dig in, but like
But we
It
didn't
always
talk
does.
but
about
like
it.
custom rule, all
Oh,
those
yeah,
like
yeah,
little
the-
things, like the deep dive, and like, dude, there's so many good questions up there.
So we
that,
got
like,
it. We got to end it on this one.
The fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill by Liz
we-
Steves.
So we are saying the three people that aren't us who we would fuck, who we
Yes.
would marry, and who we would
Yeah, you
kill.
have to rate the people.
Me
that
and
It's
Phil
pretty
already
easy.
spoiled it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you go
pretty
first.
easy. Yeah, shout out Liz, friend of the pod, asked the question.
Yes, the
This
cheese
to me, I
queen.
think is pretty easy. I'm gonna fuck Gage because I know he's nice and smooth. I'm gonna kill Steve because he's my gaming nemesis. Has been as long as I've known him. We're both tryhards. And marry Terry because he's
Yeah.
a sweetheart. He's a good friend, and he's responsible.
Yeah.
Keeps everyone in line.
I got nice soft lips to kiss. Dude.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
I'm
do a lot of kissing.
On the same line. I'm gonna marry Terry because I've known you the longest.
Fucking people love me, bro.
We've shared many life experiences.
We've probably kissed.
Probably.
I think that we have. But anyways, it's a.
I'm definitely gonna fuck Phil, world traveler. You've got to have some tricks in there.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, I don't really have a reason to kill you, but I have to. So
You're all that's left.
Same brain. We have to. Only one can stand.
Only one.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
Exactly.
Damn, now I kind of feel bad for my choices. Steve, do you want to go first?
I guess it would be. I'm going to use the same reasoning as Phil. I mean, Gage is smooth.
Kill me. Smooth. I like that you're smooth. Oh, because you don't have any facial hair or
I know.
anything.
Yeah.
You are smooth.
32,
Nice
and
to
I've,
kiss.
I've
shit.
shaved maybe 6
That might
times.
change my answer. I think
Marry
I was
Terry because he's a good lad.
That's it.
I'm
He's
gonna
married,
cry.
you know?
I'm gonna cry.
And then
You guys
Phil,
are so nice.
as much as we can have a friendly game, there's a layer of I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love that you guys are
We're
both just
times-
killing each other.
No matter what we're playing, stopping and arguing for 10 minutes on like an interpretation of a rule.
Like a stupid one. Too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
Only because my brain can't just be like, no, it can't just be that.
Yeah, this
reasoning.
is such like a clear, obvious answer, but because it's not in ink on the page, like
Spelled out.
yeah.
And the funny thing too is like the only rules. I remember it was like the 28mm base or 25mm base. I was like, Steve, no, I can attack with both of these layers of thing. And you were like, I don't think I can. And I was like, well, Phil told me I could. It was like not even my information. It was like a rules disagreement that then I was like, Phil said I could do this. I was like,
it
get
was
Phil on
because
the horn.
It was the second line of infantry,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't think they can, because old rules. It was like if you weren't within an inch,
Yeah.
if your range was an inch, you couldn't attack. And that's what I went off of.
Yeah.
I don't even remember this.
No, that's what you weren't there, but I was just like, Phil said I could do the two
No, but I mean,
lines of-
I don't even remember the.
Well, like with my zombies, because you could do like the first line and then the people like the zombies because it's not an inch.
Oh yeah, because 25 millimeters,
yeah.
I believe, is less than an inch, right?
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
do like
Yeah,
the line right behind it.
Showing how American
So if
we
you
are.
if you have quote 1 inch
don't know
reach,
how-
then
how
2
What if
rows.
the base is an inch?
We need these rules and
couldn't.
freedom units.
Yeah, what is that? A liter?
If it's over an inch, yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Like
a
a 32
millimeter?
millimeter.
Is that like sort of like a
28
liter?
millimeter base, so
28?
How many
Or
meters in a
circles.
liter?
those are 28, aren't they?
Chime in. We're not going to look it up. How many millimeters is an inch?
5. I'm gonna guess.
You're gonna
No,
guess
dude,
5
there's no way it's
millimeters?
fucking
5?
I'm an idiot. 15. I'm going 15.
No, it's got to be like.
It has to be more
15
than 20.
millimeters.
It has
Oh,
to be more than 25 because we know a 25
Damn, I got a
millimeter
ruler right
base
there. Should I get it?
is less than an inch, and that's
Or
why.
should we
have
wait
the
till
internet,
chime
bro.
in?
We have.
Oh yeah,
We
we
have
do have
computer.
the internet. While you guys are looking it up, I'm quickly gonna say.
numbers on your
Inch. Those are
I
freedom
don't
units.
know, dude. I don't numbers. You know what I mean?
you got a tape right here.
Yeah, I got a tape. Oh,
1
he's
millimeter is 0.03 inches.
Well, that doesn't help me at all.
0.39.
What's 0.03 inches?
This base is just over 25 millimeters.
25 millimeter is 0.98 of an inch.
Oh, so
This
it's
is-
yeah.
close.
So it's just shy of an inch.
This base is over an inch, according to this ruler.
So as long as
that's
those
28.
bases are touching,
So 25s are
you
good.
should be
No,
able to
20
get
yes,
two
25.
rows of guys attacking.
Alright.
But I think they said now in the new rules,
rules
it's a
lawyer.
guy.
What a
base
fucking
contact.
bullshit aside. Terry hasn't even told us who he's going to fuck.
Yeah.
He's going to marry and who he is going to kill.
I always lose in AOS, so let's give me a little bit of slack here. Let me attack with a couple lines of zombies.
yeah.
God damn, guys. So this gets really hard because everybody wants to marry me. I kind of feel like the Bachelor, right?
You
or
are.
something
We've all
like
given
that.
you a rose, Terry, and we're looking up for
Desperately.
choose one. You have a
Sucks.
fucking gun in your other
All
hand.
right.
What are you gonna do?
Now, I'm gonna stick with what I said before. I'm gonna fuck Steve.
And the reasoning why?
Nah, dude, he just looks like a.
Look at him.
I mean, come on, dude. You
Look at him.
you know why I'm fucking.
We know what he's working with.
Yeah, he's working with down there. He's got a nice cap of coal. And then I'm gonna kill Gage.
Oh no!
Sorry, brother.
That's
I don't know
fine.
why I decided to kill you though.
That's fine. I've got the rose extended, and you've got the
Sorry.
gun in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's
And then I'm gonna marry Phil.
song.
All right. I talked about it before. Phil would be just like the perfect hubby. You know what I mean? I'd
Cooking
be
dinner.
You hear that,
World
folks?
traveler.
Good,
the
good at
perfect
work,
hubby.
washing
My
dishes.
DMs are open.
I'd be making him dinner sitting at the kitchen table when he comes home at 9 o'clock. I'll be like, I made you this turkey meal.
Phil will do
and
the
you just
dishes
didn't
after?
come home. No, I'll do the dishes. I'm the housewife.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to provide for you?
Yeah, you're the provider in this relationship.
The chronically unemployed.
Maybe I'll get married to Gage, actually. Is it too late to accept that rose?
I'm dead on the floor.
Shit, we got to cast a res spell. But then Wizards of the Coast is going to copyright res spells.
That's it. They're
And then
gonna
I can't
take
bring
it.
anybody back from the dead
Wizards
anymore.
of the Coast is going to trademark "fuck, marry, kill." You heard it here
No,
first.
stop. They can't. All those teens at summer camp won't be able to use Fuck, Marry, Kill. What was the game? I mean, we should just kind of end it, but what was it, MASH? Remember that game? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Mansion, apartment, shack, house, and it was like...
It sounds familiar.
It was like a very summer camp game.
just yeah, you would like what the other people would be capable of in life, right?
Yeah, it was something like that. Chime in if you know anything about this game MASH. There was something about it was on a piece of paper, like a loose leaf piece of paper. I think you folded it up to be like one of those fortune teller kind of fold up things.
Just really.
And then from there you would come up with your list of like
That's where you ended life.
yeah. It was like there was I think there was a part where you die on there, like how you die, and it was like 4 different options, and like depending on what you got with the
Choose your
fortune
own
tellers,
adventure.
it'd be
Yeah,
like
what
you
were
got
those
2.
called?
I don't know. I always call kids at school call them fortune tellers, so I just call them fortune tellers.
Yeah, they're like the. It's not origami, but the same shit.
Yeah.
You fold open.
Borigami, I think is what it's
Borigami,
called.
right?
Anyways, my friends, thank you for joining us for another fine episode of Hive Scum. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'll be recording a battle report that will come immediately after this, and then we will see you in a couple weeks for another episode of Hive Scum. Take care.
Adios.
See ya. Bye bye.
The Despoilers of the Golden Realm by Steve. In an age before, it is said they were once a band of low-level knights, former executioners, and mercenaries. They made a name for themselves in the lands of Kislev for their ruthlessness and displays of gore that they used to cause fear amongst their enemies. The men would cast their prisoners and victims upon wagon wheels and hoist them high for all across the battlefield to see. Their icon soon after became that of a breaking wheel. Their unending quest for wealth and power led them to an ancient crypt containing the Mask of Destiny, a golden mask once worn by a powerful champion of Slaanesh. Upon seizing the artifact and the rest of the spoils from the tomb, Kral and his warbands became afflicted with the same curse of greed. The desire for wealth consumed them. They began looting and pillaging across the empire, no longer mercenaries, just men taking what they wanted. Not long after, the lesser demon Tzartul, adorned in gold, silver, and gems of all sizes and colors, appeared before Kral and his warband. Tzartul offered power and riches in exchange for their loyalty to the god of excess. Kral's response was beheading the demon. The warband feasted on the corpse and filled their coffers with his treasures. Kral and his men decreed they bow to no god, and that the only path they follow is laid in gold. The corpse they feasted on imbued them with a power not seen before in the old world, and so Kral God-Eater was born. The demon's power soaked into the men. It caused their bones to stretch, their muscles to grow, and the thirst for treasure to never cease. These men grew more ruthless and fearsome. Gromwald the Manbreaker began carrying prisoners of war around as gruesome trophies. And still every age, it seems, is tainted by the greed of man. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the pod. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you liked it, please tell your friends that you think might also be interested in it. And of course, the links will be below in the description for the In Rust We Trust Discord, as well as the Nemo 23 Discord. So feel free to join us over there if you'd like to say anything about the podcast, or if you'd just like to be part of our community. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.